last time were introduced to the main characters, prospective characters of the saga of Terra Nova, who found out that the colony wasn't quite the peaceful utopia as was advertised as, namely because the colony has been under threat from a group of Russian mercenaries or marauders, however you want to describe them. The current administration, specifically the colony administrator and the sheriff, have been, repeatedly, like, the blame falls on them for not being able to deal with the problem. So as a result, two of the new colonists, i.e., Megus's character Albert and Blitz's character Arturo, are going to be the new sheriff and colony. Well, at least there's an election for the colony admin, but the sheriff is already kind of locked in. Um, you found out that you know, you found out a little bit about your opposition, known to his followers by his wartime nickname Whiskey, a former Navy SEAL from Somalia, um, and or who served in Somalia rather, and uh, the session ended with combat when the orientation speech that all the PCs attended was attacked by the Marauders. So where we are picking up now is we will start with perspective on Conrad because he was checking into the infirmary, and as I understand it, there was potential dialogue you wanted to have. So um, you're in the infirmary. You're being checked up on by the medical staff there. Um, they're you get personally visited by the chief medical officer, Dr. Elizabeth Singh. She pleasantly introduces herself and gives you a checkup and says that your wounds, um, they're quote unquote simple gunshot wounds, like nothing vital got hit. So I could
I'm going to
probably,
live.
yeah, so yeah, you'll be fine. Um, and so it'll basically just be like, a brief like surgical procedure just to remove the lead. But it's not like you're going to be spending like several days or weeks recovering.
A little bit of lead
Advanced,
poisoning never hurt anyone.
yeah, just I mean, advanced medical technology. So, um, so you are in the infirmary, which, and also, if uh, is anybody else going to be in the infirmary, or are you going to kind of walk it off? Okay, I'll take that as a no. So, um, so
Only
Conrad,
Conrad was the death there.
yeah. So what are we doing here?
So Conrad is just like, well, that was a hell of a way of a welcoming party to this place. Almost got shot up and died on my first day. Well, can't believe a place like this is having such troubles. And he turns to the chief medical officer and he's like, do you often have people injured here with severe gunshot wounds?
She says, well, the gunshot wounds are a bit more of a recent problem. We haven't really had issues with shootings due to, guns being fairly regulated, as well as, there not really being any reason for crime due to everybody being provided for equally. Um, and I mean, the situation of the Marauders is a recent development. I mean, there have been obviously plenty of injuries, like industrial accidents and stuff like that, or people getting sick, that sort of thing. But there haven't been anywhere near as many, you know, like injuries from, gunfire or other forms of assault up until recently.
Do we have, in the worst case scenarios, do we have the appropriate medical equipment that can treat our wounded? Do we have enough supplies and enough of the advanced medical parts?
Um, I mean, the colony does have some auto docks, though in general, like for people who got hit with gunshots, unless it's something like life-threatening, the tech that they're using, like in my head, obviously with the Terra Nova show parallels, is basically like that, like weird, like magnetic device that like pulls the bullets out in that one episode. I'm imagining it's something like that where it's just simple, like, single person operated technology. It's not like you're being put in like in a an auto dock or a palling or something like that. They obviously, as I said, they do have those, but for most of the injuries that are sustained here, especially from like shootings and stuff, they are fairly easily treated. So,
So
but we do,
Conrad's angle with this is he's kind of feigning it as like he's scared for his own life, being a crybaby here. Like if God forbid he gets shot up again, or even more serious, do they have the necessary medical equipment to patch him up and save his life? But
yeah,
his real kind of angle here is actually trying to kind of assess how well the medical district is supplied, in the sense of if some environmental disaster or others come along, uh, is it at risk of being easily overflooded with patients? And uh, is it just supplied enough for the very rare occasional injury, but it doesn't have a lot of leg room for greater number of people being hurt?
right, yeah. So yeah, Dr. Singh definitely she she hears that, she takes it to heart, and she does express remorse that um the colony, it's not like a case where they can only comfortably treat four people, but um the hospital staff has, they're definitely, they have the resources and like the technology and the space to accommodate multiple people, but the staff is working overtime like very regularly now because of the shootings. Like they're understaffed,
Mm,
so that's the big
that's a
problem.
shame.
Like, doctors are constantly like running from bed to bed to treat people depending on the severity.
Well, since you've helped me here and probably saved my life, in a sense, I see now how important it is to never be prepared. In You can never be prepared enough with unpredictable medical catastrophes. So I will definitely look into uh, whenever it is financially possible to expand the resources for the medical district. I see now that when something bad happens, you can never be too sure about having enough people and quality equipment and beds, everything. So, thank you,
So
doctor. Thank you.
so she thanks you in exchange for expressing, concern for the department. She did pick up on the fact that she said, you'd see to it, and she asks because she hasn't seen you before. She does ask, like, are you part of the administration? Like, what?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. I am the new company representative here. I am working in the commercial district for the company. I am not of the top staff there. I'm just reporting to my superiors, but I will definitely relay to them my concerns and my findings. Yeah. Do you have any um, specific like specifical medical equipment that is not enough in supply, or any environmental hazards that are specifically uh, adversarial to uh, our people here?
And well, she thinks about it for a second, says that one thing that would definitely help potentially is, if it could be seen to that the medical and science departments could possibly be allocated more funding for medicinal research, because the colony has um, a lot of natural resources to um, explore and experiment on, but a combination of being understaffed, having not enough resources to work with, and also the fact that, courtesy of the issue with these marauders, um, the colony administration has put more emphasis on trying to deal with the immediate problem rather than, you know, providing the SciMed district and the departments within the funding and the resources they need in order to, treat people more efficiently and do research more efficiently. So it would be quite nice of you to relay those issues to whoever you report to, if that is indeed what you wish to do.
I can't promise anything, but be rest assured that I will definitely uh, take those suggestions to my superiors and uh, advocate on behalf of this district for more resources whenever they are available. But yes, I hope that the situation with the Marauders is fixed quickly enough so that the other departments don't have to be constrained for long. Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
I think I'm feeling a bit better as he kind of strains up from the bed, and he says, "I'll if you see me fit enough to go, uh, I will probably try to rest in my quarters."
Okay. So she, yeah, and by this point, obviously the operation has already happened. So, which speaking of, you're back at full HP. So, um,
Okay.
yeah, like she'll escort you to check out of the hospital, and with that we will swap over to because we obviously missed last session. We will switch over to Arturo. So in the aftermath of, because basically just for a sense of timing, because again you missed last session, so you arrived here yesterday. Um, the colonists were all given a little bit of downtime to like check into their new department heads, and then to if you wanted like visit a bar or something, uh, and then get some rest, and then at 11 a.m. the next day, you all reported to um, the um, the administration district outside of the main colony complex to be debriefed, and that's when the shooting happened. So this is after the shooting by maybe like an hour or so. Like, what are you up to?
Oh man.
Campaigning?
Hmm. Yeah, I think the campaigning, it has to get off to a good start.
Okay.
Absolutely no regard for, the other, uh, important things that are going on. What really matters is taking power. Um,
Off to a good start.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
absolutely.
that's how it begins.
So
Also, hey Marty, just in time. Blitz is going to start campaigning to become colony admin.
the best option, obviously, is to use the this recent tragic event with many civilian casualties as a platform to stand on to get my message out there to the people.
As you
Um,
So,
do.
I'm just shaking my head right now.
oh, and I'm moving my hands in various ways.
I I could feel it through the Discord
Yep.
call, man.
You can feel the light, the very light whist of moving air.
oh Lord. Um, so well, what I was going to suggest in terms of campaigning, because I had like some mini games planned. Like specifically, like what I was asking, like, are you going to be going around trying to see what, like, trying to basically get the colonists to, to try to support you in the upcoming election?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
so I've got three of them planned. Um, so in this case, see which one
Are
you
any of them uh like a bar at a bar?
two of them are.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's incredible. You've
So
outdone yourself.
yeah, I know, I know.
This
So I'm
is
going to switch this
excellent.
over to the bar, um, which is actually ideal, and also these tokens would not be here. The other PCs have since left the bar. Well, actually, that does
Who
beg the
is that
question.
guy? I've seen that image before.
That's Megas's character, Albert.
I've
Um,
seen that picture before somewhere. It's
well, I will ask, like, when Arturo is, which speaking of, uh, here for those who haven't seen, here's his image.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Anyone ever
oh,
play Tropico?
Um, but I was going to ask, so obviously Conrad, you're out and about for Simone and Albert for reference, are you guys going to be in the bar or do you have other plans?
Sure, I'll be at the bar.
Okay.
Nothing like getting shot and then needing a nice stiff drink.
Okay. Albert, what are you going to be doing? I mean, we'll probably focus on you next, but right now, I just want to know where everybody is.
I think I would be with the security uh team, like doing the investigation.
Okay. So you'll be
So
doing that.
I would be like, I'm taking charge here.
Okay, cool. So we'll focus on that in a bit. So basically, so Simone, just for reference, yeah, you see, and also Arturo, you are back to full health. I know you're at half right now, but um,
Oh, awesome.
so you enter the bar, and you don't really, I mean, you're taken in the site, and then Simone, obviously you're just kind of sitting at a table on your own watching, as one of your, well, as a guy you saw once at orientation who had a massive blinged out revolver, as he enters the bar. Um, so through mingling, and I'll say this is something you both would hear, and probably also Albert, at the security station, is there is actually a during the there's a new, like, a broadcast through the colony radio station Terra Nova News Today, which that's pretty much always playing at the bar, where the host, who, yeah, I would say you probably would have known as, her name is Mary Kate Curran, but she goes by MK Curran, uh, basically gives the, like, a news update that, um, the debate was supposed to be, like, the political debate was supposed to be in 2 weeks, but it has been accelerated to take place in the next 3 days. Because people, I mean, the recent shooting really just, underlined the point of, we really need a solution now. Um, so that's just something that, and also, like I said, Albert, at the police station, you'd probably pick that up over the radio as well, so you're party to that too. Um, but anyway, so you hear that over the radio, and as far as meeting people, um, I'll just say that, I mean, because obviously these are all just generic NPCs. Because you missed it last time, this is the singer who plays at the bar, Selena Baxter, and then this is the bartender, Mick Garvey. Um, so in this case, roll me a D2 just to see who you mingle with first.
Alrighty. I just sent you a quick DM too.
Oh, let me take a look.
A D2.
Oh, as for the reason for it, it was because of the, like, the Russians that have been harassing the colony. Their motives haven't been exactly established, though there have been theories that they're after the colony's resources because there are mines of palladium and promethium, but that has not been confirmed.
Okay. Good to
So,
know. Good to know.
like, it's nothing concrete, but they have. I mean, there have been several attacks, with this one being the most, like, the bloodiest. So,
How
okay.
many casualties?
Um, in terms of, let me go back to the command center thing. So there were a whole bunch of civilians. I would say probably, in terms of people who weren't lucky enough to get to cover or get down by the time that, the like, when combat actually broke out, because there were a number of people who ran for shelter or hit the deck, but I would say probably like 9 people got hit, not including the PCs.
Okay, is that 9 deaths or just 9 injuries?
A
Or
mix.
I see. Okay.
Like, there were some people who were hit and checked into the infirmary. There were some people who were instantly killed, and there were some people who bled out in the hospital. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
but as for the D6, or the D2 rather, so when she's taking some downtime to get a drink, you do actually speak with Selena. Um, and long story short, you definitely pick up on the fact that uh, she may or may not be, resort to drugs as a coping mechanism, and by may or may not, I mean she absolutely fucking does. Um, and long story short, she is in need of, well, quote unquote, need of a drug that is, like, it is used for medicinal purposes, but it is also, like, abused as a recreational drug. She is looking for something called azimuth, which, while not necessarily illegal, is highly regulated and something that isn't easily obtained. And as far as it's known, and this is something that's backed up by Garvey when he's because he knows Selena pretty well. He says that the only place you could probably get it is in the infirmary, authorized for patient use only.
What is it used for, like medically?
It's mainly there's just like not really a disorder, but a um like a very like a rare health complication, like when I say disorder, I mean like like sort of physical health issues, not like something like mental health, but more along the lines of, say, like a physical complication like like diabetes or cancer or something like that. Obviously not either of those, but just like insert sci-fi illness here. Azimuth is used to treat that.
Okay. So it's not like a situation where I could just show up and be like, oh geez, doc, my back just hurts real bad, can I get a prescription for something? Oh no, I'm allergic to that. Um, oh no,
So
that gives me heartburn. No, you know what? I need some of that. Oh, what's it called? I read about it.
I saw the infomercial about it.
Yeah, yeah, I saw the infomercial. There's something about like complications, including like bleeding out my ass, but I'm not worried about that.
I already deal with that on a daily
They
basis.
said it really quick, so it couldn't be very important.
And the campaign trail it goes.
yeah. Oh my god.
Dear God.
That's one way to make an impression.
Okay, well, I'm not saying you can't use that angle. I don't know how successful it's going to be, but um,
I don't know.
if
I
you,
could be very persuasive. Just a
um,
persuasive kind of guy.
oh, okay, I will say that will definitely. I mean, per my usual policy of preferring to let people talk out. Like, if you're going to totally lie out your ass to to Doctor Singh, you are going to have to do a roll. Oh Jesus.
Sorry.
Oh man. I don't remember. Does this game have
So
the
oppose.
bonus for explaining your situation well?
Yeah, I believe it does. Yes. Let me
do,
just take
do
a
you
look.
think that applies?
Yeah, they have similar modifiers
Let me
on
see
the
where are the
manipulation list.
modifiers. They do have you present your case very well.
That's one way to word it, yeah.
I will say, if you want to do, I'm just citing this as an option. If you want to do research on azimuth and like what it's treated for and what the symptoms that people exhibit of that disease are, you can.
Do we have Google in space?
Yeah,
Can I Google it?
yeah,
Pull up my space iPhone.
yeah.
You sounded so dejected when you said Google exists, Cody.
Well, I mean, I did
Yeah.
say it does, so.
Google, a
Yeah.
Wayland Yutani brand.
Yeah,
Well, Jitani browser.
yeah, on my Utani pad.
Um. So okay, so you can look that up. So, are you going to do anything else before you go speak to the doctor?
Oh, how is this the amount of people in here? Is this accurate, or is this just are there like a ton of people, or
Yeah, like these.
How-
I mean, there obviously probably be different seats. It's not like they said the exact same seats, but this was from the last encounter in the bar, like just to represent that it's usually pretty packed.
okay? And news of this event, it's spread, and some of these
Oh,
people were
people, yeah,
probably there.
absolutely are talking about it. Yeah, it's
Yeah. You know what? You think this is a good opportunity for a speech?
sure if you
Yeah.
can, if you could get people's attention, which I think there is actually um, I think that's manipulation.
Is that okay? Well, I have all right. I have a skill that lets me use my incredible mind for
Oh, God.
manipulation rolls, which is very fortunate. So, using that, I think the clear option is to probably stand up on the table and yell out, "The recent shooting is unacceptable. We cannot tolerate this breach in security. Many lives are lost. We're under constant attack by invaders who see us as nothing more than animals. We're
You're sounding
here.
like Trump when it's all like broken up.
Oh God.
We're here. They're here to kill us. They want our materials. They want our
There's an
palladium.
invasion. There's coming over the quality border.
They're coming from the sky, not the border. What do we even do about that?
Oh my God, you two, that's great. Anyway, please continue. I'm sorry, I just had to make that.
They shot me in my fucking leg. Can you believe it, folks?
It is shocking how good that is. I'm just laughing. I'm sitting here fucking crying, laughing. Jesus.
Oh man, Fidel Trump.
So if you missed it, the other candidate is like basically a make Terra Nova great again guy.
Yes.
So,
I'm gonna
Yeah,
make it greater.
That's gonna be
great
the
off.
debate. Great and
My
greater.
opponent says he wants to make Terra Nova great again, but I actually will, and I'll even make it greater.
Oh shit. All right. So anyway, your speech. Is there more to it?
Oh geez, I'm sure there is, but I don't think I have the composure.
I don't blame you. Um.
Just pull a real Trump and just start dancing randomly and just stop talking.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Oh,
Sometimes you
are
just
you
gotta
talking about
think
like
really
this?
hard.
Like he jumps on the table, starts dancing.
Oh yeah. What the fuck move is that? That's a good one. I'm yeah. That's going in the holster.
It looks like he's jerking off two dudes. Is that what that dance is?
Anything for votes.
Oh, you're killing me.
Oh shit. Um. So I will say in your, given that there was like a fragment of a speech, I'll say some people, um, like you don't necessarily get like thunderous applause, but some people like, like somebody like fist pumps in the air and you're all right, and like, somebody else claps, and like you do get a little bit of encouragement, but given that it was like a fragment of a speech,
Yeah.
like,
Can
and
I hand wave the rest with a manipulation roll?
sure, ad lib
Okay.
it with the manipulation.
Yeah. Oh fuck. All right. I'm gonna push it. Okay, that's at least something.
Okay,
I'm
so
starting to
panic.
panic a little.
Well, no, don't roll the panic normally because we're using the rules from second edition. So to do that, where is?
Oh god, the colony collapses.
No, not those. So where is new stress table? So I'll share this handout. So basically what you're doing is you're rolling a 2d6.
Oh god. A 2d6. Oh
Yeah.
fuck me.
Okay, so you got a 6. Um,
What is a stretch?
a stretch is 10 minutes.
Okay.
So and your stress level is 1. So,
What
but
does resolve?
yeah, resolve will probably negate that. So your resolve is your wits plus empathy divided by 2 rounded up. So that would be 7 divided by 2 rounded up is 4.
4.
So you would actually be uh frantic. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, it would
Or-
be a 3.
Yeah. So
So what? It's the roll plus my stress, then minus
my
the
resolve,
resolve.
yeah. Yeah. So basically
Okay.
you rolled a 6, your stress level is +1, so that's 7, and then -4 from your resolve is 3.
Okay. So I'm just
You got a bit too
I'm
much
just
into the
really
speech.
sucking a lot of air, I guess.
Yeah. So
Really
yeah,
an impassioned speech.
Like every politician, you blow
pretty
a lot of
much.
hot air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rip 1940s.
Yep. So
Oh no,
um
there's no our arms aren't being raised. Just some
oh,
hand movement.
Not yet.
Nothing
yeah.
Okay.
crazy.
So
Thank God.
um all right, so well, you do that. Now the question is, are you going to? Because there is also, I mean, you could potentially have multiple sort of quests running at the same time. Like if you wanted to also see what the bartender has going on in terms of issues, like because I mean, obviously, the more people you help, i.e., Selena, that's better for you. But you could also have like multiple quests kind of queued up, like in Skyrim or something. It's like not just one
Oh yeah,
quest at a
fuck it.
time.
Maybe they both want drugs from the doctor.
Well, Garvey, when you talk to him, he goes on to tell you that there's a guy in engineering who owes me a lot of money, and he's been taking his sweet time paying up to a point where I doubt he even wants to at this point. So,
Well, nobody wants to pay back a debt.
well, yeah, no shit. He says it's like, but either way, he's going to have to, and you know, I if you think you can handle it for me, then I'll pay you back for it. I mean, obviously referring to a favor, which could be
Okay,
a
yeah,
vote for you.
that
So
works. I'll have a conversation with this individual.
okay,
So it'll be a matter of national security.
all right.
He won't be able to
So
resist.
okay, so and what it'll do for context as well, I'll say like you handle one of these little tasks, and then we'll go over to somebody else. So do you want to go confront the guy in engineering? Which, speaking of, he gives the guy's name and description. He's a guy named Duncan Wallace, and has a gives him his description. um, do you want to go to engineering and deal with Wallace, or do you want to try to get the azimuth for Selena?
Yeah, let's get the drugs first. I think that's a solid plan. And you know
Okay.
what? If it ends up being that I have to like break into a cabinet or something, maybe maybe I can find something that would, I don't know, help out in some way with something else.
Okay.
Just as a coincidence.
So you, in that case, you mosey on down to the infirmary. um, Dr. Singh, she sees you, which, by the way, I don't think I presented the art of her. I will do so now. Where's all the NPCs, citizens? Um, so this is generally who you're looking at here. So she sees you and looks up, like, while she's like basically like going from like the front desk to back into the like further in the clinic. She sees you, like, oh, hello. Can I help you with something?
Geez, doc, you know, I got all these problems. Uh, you got time for an appointment? Do I have to talk to the person at the front desk? You know, these are some pretty bad all these bad problems I'm having. You know,
Well, she said, like, being as empathetic, she's just like, well, slow down. What are your symptoms?
I'm all fucked up. That's number one. Number two, I got all these problems. Number three, my back hurts. And using Space Google,
um,
what did we find out?
I don't have any symptoms
Is
in
all
mind, but
fucked up on the symptoms list?
for simplicity, we'll say yes.
Oh fuck yeah, that's perfect. How many
I mean,
drugs do
obviously
you
it
think are
wouldn't.
out there to cure all fucked up?
Probably not enough, but they can be treated at least. Um, so she says that like so you run over your symptoms, and in this case, I will have you do a this will be an opposed manipulation.
Oh man,
Before you before
I
you
sure
roll, let's
hope this
go.
doctor lady isn't very smart. It's not like she's a doctor or anything.
So in terms of modifiers, so let's see, what do you get? Um, honestly, the only one is you present your case very well because you don't have more people on your side. It does cost her the azimuth. She hasn't suffered damage. You have not helped her previously. So you
Oh
presented your
fuck.
case humorously, which is why I'll give it to you. Um,
Can
my
how
what?
many other people are at the doctor's office? Is there like another dude in the waiting room?
Probably, but
Can I like elbow him and be like, you know what I'm saying, man? Like, you with me? That's pretty bad, right? Like that's a pretty serious thing, you know? Dude, I'm all fucked up, right? Take one look at me. You can see I got all these problems, you know? You
the
with me?
guys
You on my
the
side
guy
here?
sarcastically says, "Yeah, no kidding."
All right, yeah, so no, yeah, I got a numbers advantage now. This dude's totally with it.
I'll
Follow me through the
still say
gates of hell.
I posted. You can see the clip. That's how you're describing your symptoms in the Discord chat.
Oh man.
Jesus. Oh god. So I need to rewatch that movie, honestly. Um, but
You don't need to
so
just watch CNN. Like
well,
it's
not
reality.
yeah,
Says
that
on your
too.
chart.
We're literally living
Oh
in
fuck.
idiocracy.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to rewatch the movie.
Oh,
But
I'm
so
El Presidente.
so you asked for something valuable or dangerous. Yeah, honestly, in this case, I'll just say it's a flat roll.
Oh jeez. Okay. Oh, did I do that already?
Do you want to
Okay.
push that before she rolls?
Yeah, it's been more than 10 minutes. Or wait, no, that one didn't even apply. Yeah, I'm pushing that. Oh, for fuck's
Well,
sake.
hold on. Didn't you aren't supposed to roll that panic? So, um, so you got 3 successes. I'm gonna roll hers and see what she gets.
If she
Oh,
rolls really well, I'm gonna lose my shit.
it's a tie.
Oh, fuck.
She
That's
just
2 out of
crosses
3.
her arm. Unfortunately, no. Well, no, hold on, wait. You have story
Story
points,
point.
right?
Oh, wait. I have 1 story point.
Do you want to burn it to get an
It's
extra
gone.
success? Okay. So you you succeed, and she, seeing you acting all erratically, which first of all, in terms of your panic, let's just go over that again. Whereas, so roll me a 2d6.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
8 plus 2 is mess up, but your resolve is 4. So 10 minus 4 is 6. So that's the you can't push, but you already rolled. So she's listening to your symptoms, kind of nodding along, seeing you acting all erratically, and you unknowingly act out what somebody with fucking azimuth, like who needs azimuth is doing, and she's like, "Oh, this seems pretty serious. Here, I'll get you some."
Oh, that's great, Doc. You know, yeah, I'm all fucked up, right? You know, it's I clearly, I mean, you know, I got all these problems and like, you know, like I'm all fucked up and yeah, you know, it's like I appreciate it, Doc. You know, I just, you know, yeah.
Okay. So she gives you a vial of azimuth, and she says, this should hold you over for the rest of the week.
What do I do with it? Do I like
Well, it's
swallow
basically
it? It's kind of big.
like basically it's a capsule with like a blue liquid, and what it is basically like you just you pour like the prescribed amount. and take it. So unless
I
you're a
put it in
drug
like a
addict,
club soda.
if you wanted to, you theoretically could. That's not the recommended usage of it, but
Are there any interactions there, doctor? I'm worried, I'm all fucked up. Like I don't want anything. I don't want to be more fucked up from a club soda. That'd be pretty bad.
well, then take it as prescribed.
How's it prescribed?
It says so on the label.
I can't read right now. Usually I can, but I'm all fucked up.
Well, then she'll explain it to you of like, the whole thing of like, well, you take it, you know, you know, she gives like the whatever the recommended like the dose amount is, and she said like twice a day by mouth, yada yada yada. So
All right, I appreciate it, Doc. I'm gonna remember all that.
oh god, yeah. So and basically it's like if you turn to head out, then she looks at you and then just like she stares at you, turns around, and then just stares at you on your way out, like, man, like thinking, wow, he really is fucked up. So, well, after that fiasco, well, first I'll say that, are you going to bring the azimuth directly to Selena, or are you going to go like while you're out and about? Are you going to go confront that guy?
Is it like a fragile container?
It's obviously something you wouldn't want to just drop, but
Okay. Well, if it wouldn't be any good for like beating this dude over the head with, it's probably
no.
best I just take it where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Just in the hands of somebody who wants drugs.
So yeah, so you bring it back to the bar. You give it to Selena. She's very jittery, and then she sees it and kind of melts out a little bit. It's like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And she says, is there anything I can do to repay you for this?
All right. See, funny thing about that, right? When I grow up, I want to be the president. So,
Honestly,
you
if
know,
you grow up.
I mean, okay, that ain't happening, but I'm still, I meet the legal
At least he's
requirements,
honest.
and I think I'm leadership material. I'm handing out drugs to those in need. Uh,
The word is medicine.
drugs, medicine, it's all the same thing. Prescribed, unprescribed. This was prescribed, but only kinda in your case. Anywho,
So
yeah. So I just need if you want to sweet talk some of the passersby, help me in my campaign. That'd be fantastic.
and she says, oh, of course, I may even put it in song form if you think that would help.
That'd be fantastic. You could even, I don't know, maybe we can. Do we have a national anthem? If we do, you'll be singing it. It'll be fantastic.
Oh god. Oh Lord. Okay. Well, so she agrees to that, and so you've gotten uh Selena's support, and indirectly the support of the regulars at the bar. Um, so then while you're going off to go pay Duncan Wallace a visit, we go over to Albert. So Albert, as I understand it, among the things you wanted to do, you wanted to talk to Alexandra about doing a background check on whiskey.
Yeah, I wanna know what kind of dirt did she find on this whiskey guy?
So what she says, well, I'll say this, in this case, she wouldn't have had enough time to do so. Um, because you figure all this stuff is kind of happening concurrently within like an hour uh, of the shooting. So she like basically like you go meet her and she says I'll look into it. But what you do pick up is that Carlsberg, he summons you and the sheriff, and he says that he was monitoring radio frequencies as he was told, and he said that um, he picked up a like a radio call from what he thinks is the leader of the mercenary group overall, who was radioing the squad leader that attacked the party. He also gave a name to that squad leader. He said the guy was ID'd as Dmitry Smirnov, and basically the Merc leader in the transmission, and he'll play this back to you in a sec. But basically the Merc leader was saying, was questioning why the raid team hadn't returned to camp or checked in, and specifically asked if their boats were having problems.
Okay. Um, so I guess we think then that they arrived via the water because we're on the coast, right?
Yeah, the colony is along the coast, so they the implication there is that the Russian team reached the colony via boat.
Okay. Um, so I'm going to um want to go out and investigate the boats with a security team.
Okay. Um, so I'll say you can be allocate like, and the sheriff, he says that he'll also, um, if if you think it would be a good idea, because I mean he's trying to, you know, help you get accustomed to being, the sheriff. He says like if you want, you can bring along a team of sort of like prospectors slash scouts. So implicitly saying, if you want to like out of character, if you want Simone to tag along for this, um, she can, especially because the prospecting team isn't currently on any travels. But I mean, if you want it to just be security forces, you can. But I mean, you do have the option of, you know, filling in I guess like a not really a requisition order, but a request for personnel if you think there's a specific skill set that you might need.
Okay. Yeah. So I can bring Dustin and I guess Simone if you want to come.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Like out of character, like I wouldn't know that. I'll just pick you. And then yeah. So her, Dustin, and like a handful of other people. Like
Okay.
it seems like it's not. We're just going out there to collect evidence and stuff and
Yeah.
see what's up.
Yeah, because basically, like the radio call was just, from this, like, there wouldn't, again, with this all being within the span of about an hour, like the stuff Conrad was doing, what Arturo was doing, and now what you're doing, there wouldn't have been enough time for the Russians to send in another team. It's basically just like the commander overall is saying like, why haven't you guys checked in? You were supposed to have reported back, not knowing that the team is dead. So, um, so yeah, you can, so Simone, Dustin, and I'll bring us back over to the colony overview. So
Maybe
let me
like
just,
two other security people and like
okay,
two other prospectors or something.
okay. So the prospectors would be like background characters, but you'll have, I'll say, um, you know, Sheila, uh, and then Shapunov, and then let's see, where is uh, then the PCs obviously, and then like I said, oh, hold on, I gotta add Dustin. Where is he? Security team, Dustin right there. And then for PCs, we have obviously Albert and Simone. Okay, so um, you guys can, uh, in this case, track the footprints of like I'm not going to make you do like an observation roll to try to track the footprints because it's like there hasn't been any like rain or anything, so you can easily just go through the mud and track them back to the beach. Um, you do see that there. Hold on, let me just pull up my notes for a second so I get this right. So there are actually um, two boats on the beach. But the thing about it is that um, you can see that they were actually like they're ribs, like the rigid inflatable boats, and they are no longer seaworthy because the mercs slashed like basically as I mentioned before, there were a few survivors who escaped, who like fled from the fled from the fight after they realized they were getting overwhelmed. Um, that I mean, it stands to reason that they probably slashed up the boats. Um, but their boats are on the beach. Now, the thing is in this case, are you going to inspect the boats?
Yes, but I'm gonna do it carefully because I saw that they slashed it, so they might be booby trapped.
Okay. Um,
So I don't know if we can do like an observation or some kind of thing like
well,
that.
I'll say like I mean, if you're going to be like hands on with it, then probably yes, you would want an observation for traps. But if you're just looking at it, then I'm not going to make you do a roll. So if you're just kind of taking a cursory glance at the boats, you do see that they actually do have like next to the well, not really driver's seat of like whoever's like actually steering the boat, there are actually GPS consoles there, which might have intact data.
Okay. Yeah, so I definitely want to so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the motion tracker and just see if there's any motion like are there trees nearby or are we in an open area where like no one could hide?
There are trees nearby because basically you came out of the jungle and stepped out onto the beach.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to use I guess we can back up a little bit. I would use the motion tracker before we step out on the beach just to make sure that there's no one else like waiting to ambush
Okay.
us.
Yeah, good idea. So give me a motion tracker roll, or the power roll rather. Make sure you don't have any weapons selected because that'll add that to the power.
I'm trying to roll it here.
Okay, so the power goes down a little bit, but the good news is that you don't pick up any signals. The one of the cops in this case, Sheila, she makes the offer to you that she says like if you want, um, Shaponov and I can do a quick patrol, see if there's anybody lurking around, and then report back. Well, obviously you'd hear if there's anybody still there.
Yeah, they can do that. I'm obviously going to equip my rifle, and we're just going to be careful as we approach
Okay.
the boats. So then we approach, we see all the stuff that you said, and I'm gonna want to do, like I said, like a close inspection just to make sure that nothing is booby trapped.
Okay.
Uh,
So give me an observation then.
so I assume like, I don't know what, maybe Simone, like if your observation skills are better. Mine
As a
are not very
prospector,
good.
they might be.
Yeah. Observation. My pool is 6.
Yeah, so that's better than mine. So I'll assist you. So you
Okay.
get a +1, and why don't you go ahead and do?
Sure. No more modifiers.
Yeah, no modifiers. Okay, so you do succeed. Um, as you are being very careful, I mean, as a prospector, you obviously have an eye for detail. Um, you don't see any, evidence of any, um, like bombs or tripwires or anything bad. And that is an honest answer. So the boats are completely fine.
Yep. Looks clear to me.
Sorry.
It's all good. I'll just remove that. So yeah, it's all clear. So you can safely interact with the GPS like terminals. Which I assume you wish to do.
Yeah. So we'll go up there and we'll start investigating the consoles and try to pull any data that we can.
Okay. So in your search of the data, what I will bring up is hold on, because there is like a colony sheet that has a oops, no, that's a colony sheet. That's not the planet. Um, so I will. Am I able to show this to players? No. Hold on. Oh, actually, what I can do is I'm going to configure ownership. I'm going to set this to all players observer. So if you look under Terra Nova and there's a colony and planet info sheet, look under Koi 416 and um,
Sorry, where is this?
so if you look in the actors directory, um, there is the Terra Nova orange folder, there's a folder under that called Colony and Planet Info, and then under that
Oh,
is a
yeah.
handout Koi 416, and basically that gives you like info on the planet itself and specifically like the 7 different regions of the planet. Like you guys are in the equator region. Um, these guys came from the northeast because there's like an island chain northeast of Terra Nova. So that would be where the the like the general direction that these marauders came. Like they like there's specifically like a marked like like Google Maps how you can set like markers and stuff. Um, there is such a marker on one of those islands, which you can safely assume is probably like either a rendezvous point or just their straight up base of operations.
They've got a secret volcano lair. Oh my
Yeah.
You know what? You say that, but those are surprisingly very common in this universe. In the alien universe.
I don't know. Simmons didn't have one.
That we found.
Yeah, true. He may
That
or
we
may have.
found.
Yeah.
Okay. Does our colony have boats?
Um.
I'm just wondering if it'd be worthwhile to like have a salvage crew like haul these things back and repair them and all that stuff.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you could potentially fix these, or I mean, I don't know. Realistically, if you're able to fix ribs, I would assume so. But um,
Like
you could have
patch
a
up
repair team
patch
because
them up.
yeah, you could patch it up and then have the boats. And I mean, the colony does have um, aircraft. Like it has like a couple of like landers for like drop shuttles for survey missions and such.
Okay, yeah. So like we can do it off screen or whatever, but I
Yeah,
would like
you want to get the
probably
boats
with my
patched
little
up.
radio or something like have like a salvage crew come out here and be like, bring a truck and we're gonna load these things up and repair them and all that stuff.
Okay. Um, so yeah, you guys are doing that. Is there anything else you want to be doing during this particular scene, or do you want to jump back over to Conrad?
I mean, is there anything of interest in the boat other than the GPS history?
No. I mean, yeah, it would just be like the GPS is like the only thing of relevance.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I'm done.
okay, so is that good for you, Simone?
Was there any like paperwork or orders recovered from like the dead marauders
Very good question. Because I will say
that
that because
we were probably like brought in and are sitting in the
yes, that would
morgue or the equivalent?
they would actually have been brought. That's a good point for Albert. That the Marauders' bodies would have been recovered, and their gear and weapons and stuff would have been brought to the morgue. Well, to like the bodies brought to a morgue, but all their equipment and like
Yeah, it's been like
radios and stuff.
confiscated.
Yeah, that's all been confiscated. The radio specifically is how Carlsberg managed to pick up that signal because like
Right.
you guys recovered the radios, he cracked the code on the frequency, and then you set up like basically recording software to record any transmissions that might have come through.
Yeah, we did that at the end of the last session, right? Is like
Yeah, it
we
was like
looked at
very end.
their equipment and stuff.
Yeah, so you do have their equipment in the lockup. But as for anything in the boats, no. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm done.
all right. Sounds good. So I'll say, later in the day, because probably we'll say that like that's like the end of the morning shift, so we're in the afternoon shift. So Conrad, you have checked out of the infirmary and you are left to your own devices in the colony. What are you currently up to?
Well, Conrad has a few ideas. I mean, yeah, technically he's kind of recovered and healed up, though he will use the situation to bleed out any sympathy he can from uh, any important people he meets. Hmm. I'm wondering what would Conrad do? Would he first report to his company higher up,
Oh yeah,
or would
to
he?
yeah, if you
Yeah,
want
just
to.
the situation, what happened. Yeah. He's firstly gonna do that before he goes snooping with his personal uh, ventures.
Okay, so um, you Mr. Duvall, he sees you and is like, "Oh, Conrad, thank fuck." Um, I heard, I mean, obviously being part of the ninth, you were at the um, as that orientation they got shot up, or at least I would assume so. How are you holding up?
Honestly, I I got shot up pretty badly. Uh, I got a few bullets in me there. Honestly, I was afraid I was gonna die, but the medical staff did well by me, and immediately when I felt the strength to get back on my legs, I came back to give my report. While the memory, trauma, I would say, is still fresh. We all have a job to do, isn't that right?
Indeed. Um, so he says, so I take it you're here to you know, get some hours in. He says, referring to like administrative work.
Yes. I'm going to help file the report of the incident, since I think I'm not sure, but I believe I was the only company personnel at that orientation, so that we can have our own report then ready as well, and then do the rest of the day's work before
Okay.
I take some
So
needed
I'll
rest.
say that that's definitely not going to be the entirety of the shift, but you'll probably be working for a few hours. Um, because obviously this isn't like a
Yeah.
go to work
Yeah.
simulator. Um, so you can
So
be
yeah,
doing that.
since it's gonna be doing that for a few hours, probably other characters are gonna get to do other things before he
Yeah,
continues further.
and I'll cut back to you in a bit. So I guess kind of keeping the rotation going. So Arturo, um, you are
Oh God,
why? What's
I'm out
that
of
react?
tension.
Um, so you but like during this time, I would take it that you probably like after helping Selena, you probably got got something to eat, and then you are on your way to the engineering district to go pay Wallace a visit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so um, basically you go there. Oops, wrong map. So you are here in the engineering district. I don't have like a special map for it, but you go there and um, you're
Before
looking.
before I get to wherever this fella's at, seeing as this is the engineering district, probably a lot of it's probably a lot of tools lying around, right?
Uh-huh.
Any I don't suppose there's like a conspicuous like monkey wrench, the fucking real big ones.
Yeah.
Just gonna,
Uh
you
oh.
know, if there's
Oh
one that's
no.
unattended, I'm just gonna grab it and like, just take it with me while I'm, you know, looking for this
Well,
guy.
yeah, here I have a if I can find it. This is just totally me right now when I'm hearing just I'm grabbing a monkey wrench before I go confront this guy.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna break his kneecaps.
Yeah, no, you're just gonna bust his head open, but um anyway,
Well, if he's like dead and fucked up, then then he
if
can't
he's
pay
dead and
back
fucked
the
up,
the
then
money he
he
owes.
won't fucking pay the bartender.
Exactly. So I can't like kill or fuck him up. Too bad, at least. Ideally not at all. But I think the potential.
Oh, you're going to try to basically like coerce him. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if someone's got a big fucking giant hunk of metal,
So,
uh, that's more convincing of whatever argument they're trying to make. Except for maybe the argument that they're uh, just there to have a quick conversation.
right. So
Seems like
you
somebody's going for
s-
menacing talent.
yeah, exactly. So you seek him out. The like based on the description though, I mean there is a slight complication in the fact that he's a pretty big muscular dude who's probably like 6'5" at least.
Oh, well, I also have a gun, so
So, um,
Good boy.
so basically, yeah, you see him. He's currently working on fixing up a. Well, actually, you know what? For narrative like connection, he's actually one of the guys fixing up the boats.
Oh,
Oh,
El Presidente is gonna end up in the hospital. I fear.
You don't say.
Yeah,
again?
I have a sinking feeling, and here I was half tempted to offer and say, "Oh, I'll come with you if you need the muscle," but nope, he's gonna go get his ass kicked.
Well, hey,
So
if you got your space BlackBerry, you know, I can send off a quick space text. You know,
so anyway, are you? So you find him working in the vehicle bay. There are several other people there. You see this big muscular dude who wouldn't be out of place in prison working on the like he has like like very short like basically like sort of like stubble hair, I guess for lack of a better words, like buzz cut, however you want to slice it. So he's working on this vehicle. Do you call out to him or do you tap him on the shoulder? What are you doing?
are there other people around
Yeah, I just said there are other people working in the vehicle bay.
within earshot?
I mean, if you were to shout out to him, yes.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, you know, I don't intend on doing that exactly, but yeah, you know, I think I'll walk up, you know, not particularly threatening. I'm gonna have the big monkey wrench kind of like down at my side, you know, and I'll say, hey, buddy, what you working on there?
Um, he uh he turns around and he sees Fidel Castro, who obviously is not part of the maintenance staff. Deep voice, like, who wants to know?
Um, well, if it helps to clarify, I'd like to know. I mean, you know, that's a cool thing. Big fucking, you know, it's a boat.
And he's saying like, I want to know, and he says like, it's part of an investigation. That's all you need to know. And he gets back
Oh,
to it.
uh, what you investigating?
And he doesn't answer that.
What does he just like look at me and grumble or?
Yeah, pretty much. And then he just turns to get back working on the boat.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I understand. You know, confidential stuff. I just you know, I got something I'd like to, you know, have a quick conversation with you about. I figured, oh, you know, we got a solid working man in his environment. You know, do a little shop talk. You know, but all right, I understand. Still got to talk to you though.
And he sighs and he turns around to you and says, listen, buddy, I'm on the clock here. I can't be wasting time talking to somebody who isn't on the fucking staff, so leave me alone.
I'll tell you what. If your boss has a problem with it, I'll go talk to him. Yeah, he you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Taking a quick 5 minute break here.
Well, he says that's like, he says, well, I got to tell you, Mr. Havelock may not exactly be as merciful as me.
Mr. Havelock. Hmm. Why do you say that?
Um, well, he basically goes like, yeah, he explains that, I'm not going to bother doing the deep voice for the whole thing, but he just goes on to tell you very briefly, because he obviously is not really much of a talker, that he says that Mr. Havelock is kind of like a no nonsense, no procrastination, everybody fucking get to work kind of boss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. When you signed on to work here, they have you sign a contract or what was that?
Um, I mean, he's like he just he groans and like sort of slams his fist against the bow. It's like, buddy, what do you want from me?
Listen, I think we can help each other out here. You know, Mr. Havelock, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would be following worker safety regulations or you know, working hours regulations, that kind of thing. He's probably, you know, skimming a little off the top. Is he would you say you've been paid fairly, for all the hours that you've worked, all the labor you put in? I think, in most cases, those guys they think, "Oh, you know, he only worked 45 minutes of that hour. I don't got to pay him for that." That ever happened to you?
That part actually kind of does get his attention because you know, he does like he sort of looks down, like looks down into the side, avoiding eye contact. So, like basically, sort of body language that he's definitely not denying it. Like he's been pretty short fused with you thus far, but what you said definitely it implies to you from his reaction that there's a bit of truth to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Being paid what you're owed. That's important, especially when you're putting in hours like this.
Oh, being
This
paid with
is
your own. I see where you're going with this.
yeah. Well, hear me out, right?
Well, I'd say that out of character.
Just for reference, out of character. How much money does he actually owe the bartender guy?
Um, Probably like at least a few $100 from like you know gambling and or his tab, etc. Like he basically through various sources he definitely kind of racked up some debt to Mr. Garvey.
Okay. So can we nail that down? Maybe like $300.
Sure.
Okay.
Which that I mean does also mean that you could potentially pay him yourself if you were so inclined, but all I mean if you had the money for it, but also the fact that if you don't potentially set this guy straight, then he's not really going to learn from his mistakes and he's just going to keep doing it.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Well, I'm gonna say to this fella. So your boss, he's probably shorted you. I don't know how long. How long you worked here, buddy?
A few years.
A few years. Okay. Okay. Now in that time, you've probably been shorted way more than $300 worth of hours. Am I on the money with that?
Uh, I mean, again, he doesn't want to potentially incriminate himself, especially with other workers present by, saying something that could be potentially interpreted as speaking ill of his boss. So again, he doesn't provide, like, he doesn't jump out of his seat to say no, but at the same time, he just takes a very hesitant stance on it, which obviously kind of tells you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna nod, you know, clearly taking away from that what I'm taking away from that. Tell you what, I get you your back pay for all those hours you were shorted, and you pay back the bartender. They both come out ahead. It's a win-win situation. How's that sound?
Well, do it first, and then we'll have a deal. He says, referring to like he's specifically referring to like actually get Havelock to pay um this guy what he's owed, and then he will agree to your terms.
All right. That
Which
sounds
is
good.
which is a genuine offer, but I mean obviously to be clear, he's expecting you to honor your deal
Yeah.
first.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, hell, you can't pay back money you don't have. All right. Well, in that case, let's see. Off the top of my head, just kind of thinking to myself here, of course anyone's welcome to jump in. Who do I know that would be probably useful for this sort of
Of the
engagement?
PCs.
Yeah, of the PCs. Maybe we can get someone in on this.
Has Arturo met? Oh yeah, met the other PCs. Well, in a
He
more
wasn't
another
he
capacity?
wasn't at the the housing unit, which by the way, Blitz, just as a recap, like all the PCs live in the same like housing unit. Like you have your own rooms and but like a shared kitchen and stuff. It's kind of like a college dorm that accommodates 6 people. Um, and you weren't there when the other 3 characters first arrived and met each other. Like the first time you were in the same scene together was in the when the Russians shot up the place.
Okay, so there wasn't any like connection made there.
Yeah, you guys didn't directly interact with each other, but you could
Shit.
potentially like go back home or even like pull up some records or whatever the hell. Like, when I say
Yeah.
records, I mean like housing records and find out like okay, these are my housemates, um, and potentially try to meet the other PCs that way.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe
So
maybe I go back to the space house and get on Space Google and I happen to
Facebook.
be on the space yeah, on the space Windows PC uh at the
Well,
place, and I don't know,
yeah.
maybe someone else is there, or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of because keep in mind this whole matter with Wallace and Havelock and Garvey, like you don't have to resolve this like this instant. It's just that things won't really progress until you do. Um,
Yeah.
so in that case, then I'll say you head back to the housing unit, um, which is by the way, it's actually like a house built with resources on site. Um, it doesn't. It's not like like a metal prefab colony unit. It's like basically like a luxury sort of like beach house kind of thing where they
Oh
built it
damn.
with fancy wood and like glass windows and all that other stuff.
Mm,
So, um,
the presidential estate.
pretty much. So, Conrad is obviously at work. I would say so. Albert and Simone, you guys got done with matters at the beach, and then like you and the prospectors and cops kind of split ways. Are you guys taking some downtime back at the house, or are you out and about elsewhere?
I think I would go back to the sheriff HQ at the security office, um, and I'd want to be like investigating, um, like how did these guys slip into the colony without getting detected, sort of thing. Like how can we prevent more of these raids from the sea?
Okay. Um, so you can be doing some investigation of that because I mean, full disclosure, it's not something that'll be solved instantly, but it is something you can look into. So we'll address that eventually. But Simone, are you going to be back at the house? Because technically you are, kind of in downtime because you're not out on an expedition. So you can be back
Um,
at the house getting some rest or whatever, or you can be out in the colony doing stuff.
uh, yeah, I'll say I'm back at the house, and I'm basically trying to work up the courage to try and talk Albert into, deputizing me, because, like, I got nothing better to do, man. Take me out there in the field at this point. I want something to do.
Okay.
Oh, you want something to do, huh?
Yeah, so it's
I
like you're
know, yes,
yeah,
the
Oh
devil.
no.
so are you
God.
saying that to yourself like, talking to yourself as Arturo enters the room because that would actually be really funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have, like, the
So,
headphones in, the music isn't on, so I'm just like, okay, gotta make a good argument to
yeah.
get him to deputize me.
So basically, yeah, and then El Presidente, you fucking enter the housing unit like and you hear this and nobody else seems to be home from what you can tell, but you do see this
Yeah.
this woman sitting at the kitchen table.
I'm gonna look around the corner, then kind of go back, then look again, then go back, and a sitcom laugh track plays, and then he strides in, kind of like nodding to himself, exaggerated in an exaggerated fashion. You know, like, huh, that was easy. Walk right in and sit down.
Yeah, you walk in and you're just like,
How do you do, fellow kids?
Man. Oh, so
"How do you do,
looking
fellow
for something to
colonist?"
do, huh? You
Oh,
you
Hi.
got
no.
a mind for justice, for setting things right?
Howdy, can I help you?
Thank you for just walking into my home without knocking.
Oh yeah, no, I live here, I guess. I got the
God
right
damn it, I
address, right?
left
This
it.
is
Apparently,
this is
I left
1209, right?
it locked. Um, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so I
Are
live here.
you assigned to this? Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I just got here
I
kind
mean,
of,
the
but
door
you
was
know,
unlocked, so yes.
yeah. I would have been here like before, but I got shot and it is a whole thing. I was like all fucked up. I had to see the
Oh,
doctor about it.
I know you. You're the blinged out uh revolver, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's me. That's
Uh,
me.
Oh, nice to meet you, man. Are you feeling better?
Oh
I know
yeah,
you
I'm not all fucked up anymore. I
being
was, but
shot.
I'm like, you know, I'm cool now.
It's all that
Everything's cool.
azimuth.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even take any
Glad
of
to
it, you know,
hear
I
it.
just kind of I think, you know, having it served its purpose. But yeah, so what's your name? We'll do introductions. That's probably important, huh?
Yeah, that is. Well, I'm Simone Kowalski. I'm a member of the what is it, the prospecting group
Yeah,
over on
Wildcatter
planet?
division, whichever you want to,
Yeah, the
however you want to
Wildcatter
call it.
division. Yeah, I'm a new member of the Wildcatter division here on Terra Nova, and yeah, who are you?
Oh, I'm Arturo Presidente. I know. I'm sure my name precedes me. Uh, no, I'm just messing with you. No, but I
My
am, you
parents
know,
had
really famous and
high
important.
hopes, didn't
Yeah.
they?
I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I'm a big deal in certain circles. That table right there, that's a circle. Maybe not that one, but like other ones. But
Okay.
yeah, so you know, do I work for Wayland Yutani? I think I do,
Well,
right?
it's
Out of
Wayland Core,
character.
because Wayland Yutani hasn't
What?
formed yet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, sorry. Yep. Getting mixed up with the time travel stuff. That's something that got me working on. You know, it's nothing big,
The
you know.
time
It's not
travel stuff.
yeah. Uh yeah, you know, I do like I don't know, a little bit of this and that. I'm a problem solver. You know, I set things right. Things that are fucked up. If something's fucked up, it's my job to fix that. I was fucked up earlier and I fixed that. That's a rarity though. I'm always cool. But there's something else that's fucked up right now. Down at the shipyard, it's all fucked up. They're not being paid right. They're being shorted hours. You believe that? That's fucked up. I'm going to do something about that. Not
Alright.
entirely, you know, out of the goodness of my heart, but, you know,
Oh,
to a good portion, that's, you know, a large amount of what it is.
I lost my little sheet of paper where I was tallying the child soldiers mentions. I should have changed the list to, fucked up for
Oh,
this
I tend to throw
session.
people off. That's my thing. I got a lot of things, you know.
No, I'm talking IRL. I kept a running tally of how many times child soldiers was mentioned during the session. 3 times.
3 times?
Good
Yes.
start for one session last time, yeah.
Oh boy.
It's weird that it came up 3 times, but it did.
Uh,
That was part
Oh,
of
Weather
man.
Whiskey's
conditions
campaign
both.
pitch, too.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to do the child soldiers?
Yes, he is.
Oh, man. How am I going to top that?
Baby soldiers.
That probably wouldn't work. but I like the attitude.
back on top.
Yeah. Sorry, it's all melding together. I'm becoming,
I've become dictator,
yeah.
perhaps
Destroyer of Terra Nova.
worlds. Yeah.
Honestly, worlds, that would be pretty impressive. I don't think I'm gonna make it to that tier, but we'll see.
So anyway,
Oh yeah. But yeah, you know, that's that situation, that's all fucked up. You know, we can't have that. That's unjust. They're screwing the working man.
Well, that's that sucks a lot. I mean, are you gonna do anything about it or try and do anything about it?
Hell yeah, I'm gonna do something about it. Could use some help though, you know? And I couldn't help it over here. You know, you were hoping to be deputized. Now, I gotta imagine, what does a sheriff look for in a deputy? A mind for justice, mind for setting things right, keeping things running smoothly, making sure nobody's causing harm to one another. Right?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah. So, what better opportunity to prove that those exact values are what you hold in your heart than by going and making it come real, come true.
Okay. What did you have in mind? I feel like I'm being manipulated. But
no
that's
shit.
Well,
yeah. I'll
the
push
plan
down
is
that little voice at the back of my head. Shut up, little voice. You're not being manipulated.
he gets in your head. He's like a little worm. I mean, he's not, you know, he's like a, you know, like a dude, but
So
Oh goodness. Excuse me.
so as for, you know, my plan, um, I have some conceptions of a plan. Uh, Baseless legal threats, that's definitely in the holster. Like to go with plan B for that though, because I can't back any of that up.
oh, by the way, do you
Obviously.
still have the monkey wrench?
Fuck, oh man, you know, sometimes
You're just holding a
I'm gonna
fucking
look
monkey
down
wrench
and
like
realize that I'm
you're
still
like
carrying that,
tapping
and
it against your palm as you talk.
I'm gonna heft it up onto the table and put it down and be like, man, you ever walk into a room and realize that you're carrying something that you didn't mean to be carrying, and you know, now you got to take it back. Well, see, I don't even remember where I got that, so I can't even take that back. But you
No,
know, that's not important.
I can't say I've ever, like itchy fingered, picked up something and walked away with it. I
Well, I
may
didn't
be
steal it; I just
absent-minded,
found
but
it.
are you sure you didn't steal it? Because it sounds like you stole it.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, you know, I
A little bit of kleptomania
truth be
is
told, I might have
is El
stolen it.
Dictator.
I don't think so though. It was just kind of sitting there. There was nobody around. I didn't even, you know, I didn't mean to walk off with it. Well, I meant to walk off with it, but not this far, you know. I would have put it back, but you know, it just slipped my mind. You know what? I'll figure out, you know, whose it was. Put up posters with pictures. But yeah, you know, so back on topic. I have a couple of, you know, ideas kicking around, but you look like you might have a wide range of skills and maybe some that you're particularly proficient in. Maybe one of those is planning. Maybe you have some ideas. I've got a couple, but I'd like to hear your take on things.
What sort of ideas or plans are you looking for exactly, Arturo?
Well, the one that I'm sort of I have the most confidence in right now, the baseless legal threats. They're not actually completely baseless, right? They are, definitely violating the law. The thing is, can it be proven, right? And would it be prosecuted? Now, if he already knows that he's violating the law, and I make it clear that I know he's violating the law, then all I have to do, or all we would have to do, is convince him that it would in fact be prosecuted and that it's already able to be proved. And all we have to do is promise to make that go away if things are made right.
Okay. Out of character, you're talking in circles and you're slightly confusing me, but I think I
Am
know
I?
what you're trying to go for. A little bit.
I'm a little bit tired, but I I thought that what I was saying was making sense.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, it does. It's just
So basically, long story short, you're saying you want to, go over and essentially blackmail Havelock and try to get him to, uh, stop underpaying his employees, is what I'm hearing.
We could frame it as more of a out of court settlement. Doesn't have to go on the books.
Okay. So, all right. Well, then,
and the
what's your?
bribery begins.
Yep. So, what are you? So, are you guys going to go straight there, or are you going to go to the security team station or first, or what are you planning to do?
Well, I reckon if you want to get dirt on somebody or information, then we could go to the security station. I mean, they probably have the information you need. Make a better case.
They probably do. Do you know anyone there?
Funnily enough, yes.
Hmm.
One of my roommates is the new sheriff.
Oh,
Well, he's not the
well, that's
sheriff yet, just to be
fantastic.
clear. He's
Well,
going to be
will be
though.
the sheriff rather. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's
Sorry. Well,
incredibly convenient.
he did share that information with us. Yes, I remember. I was afraid I had spoken out of character knowledge,
Yeah, like
but no,
basically.
he
Well, I'm just
actually
saying for
shared that
context
little
for, yeah,
tidbit with us.
for Arthur because he wasn't there last, or for Arturo because he wasn't there last time. Is basically, the current sheriff is basically given to peer pressure and is going to be retiring. So once his contract ends, which is going to be in
Mhm.
like a few days, then Albert is going to be the new sheriff. Like he was specifically recruited to
Yeah.
Terra Nova to be the new sheriff once the current guy retires.
Hmm.
And then last session, he shot himself in the foot
Yeah,
during
he kind of
combat.
did that. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that this sheriff is vulnerable to peer pressure.
The current one, yes.
Hmm. Does he
Well,
have a mind for justice? You
I
think?
mean, he does, but basically, just for context again, the problem is that like with the marauders attacking the colony and the security team being able to like not being able to do anything about it, it's kind of like the U.S. Navy where like mission failure ultimately falls to the commander of the ship.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So he just looks like the floppy wiener in charge of the whole situation.
basically, well, him and the colony admin, but yes,
I
like
see. I see.
like the two of them have not done a competent job at dealing with marauders or finding out what their motives are, yada yada yada. So basically, both of them, like in the case of the sheriff, he's basically like, "Fuck this, I might as well retire by this point." And then the colony admin is going to be per like there was petition made by the the people as a whole and that was relayed to Wayland Corps. That was approved, and there's going to be an election to replace the current guy. And that's basically Arturo. Like that's what you're gunning for in competition with Whiskey,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
whose name is actually Steve Stevenson in this continuity. But
Steve Stevenson.
yeah,
Okay, there's no way this dude has a chance against me.
The
I've
great
already got
Steve.
Presidente in the name. This guy, Steve Stevenson, that guy can't be president. Everyone's gonna say, "Look at this guy, Steve.
Steve-ul.
It's
Who
like
is he? Stevenson."
it's like John Johnson, the failed presidential candidate that one year.
Was that a thing? I don't even know.
I'm
What's-
being facetious for like Alien Universe. I'm
Oh,
ad libbing.
you know
Oh.
what? I would have completely believed it. That does
Any-
sound like a failed presidential candidate.
Anyway, just to
Or
keep this
rather,
moving, do you guys want
Nick
to go to the
Johnson.
police station then, or the
Mhm.
security team? Okay, so we will do that. So so basically, yeah, you guys meet up with what the fuck are you doing with this?
Just a little, there might be remnants of a little fucked up.
Yeah. Um. So so basically, yeah, you guys go to the um yeah to the police station, or I mean, I keep calling the police station. Like technically, you guys aren't cops, but it's just kind of easier to like flow off the tongue than security team, yada yada yada. So just for context, so yeah, you guys make your way down to the security team HQ, and Albert is there. You are doing like research, like basically the research that you would be doing, I would say by this point. Well, do you have any specific ideas of what you're looking into, or are you just doing kind of
Probably.
methodical sweep of? Well, I'm asking Albert.
Oh,
I mean, people can weigh in. I just want to get his input first.
Sorry, what's the question?
So you said you were going to be trying to look into how the Marauders slip by the perimeter. What kind of things are you looking into specifically, if anything?
I would want to like talk to the other people in the security headquarters and like talk to the sheriff and be like, what kind of defenses or what kind of like, surveillance equipment do we have that's watching the coast? Seems like we need to secure that and make sure they can't be landing boats.
Are you suggesting like putting up like surveillance cameras? Because we can do that.
Yeah, I mean that could be one
Probably
solution.
didn't
I'd like
happen.
to see what options are available. Like, could we? I don't know. Like, is that the only option? Could we set up like a radar to see any boats that are coming in?
Well, I mean, one possible option would be like an early warning system, like motion trackers could be set up in um, in the jungle or near that beach. The problem is that if they don't use that same location each time, then they could potentially maneuver around the source of the motion tracker.
Right.
But that I mean that is a possibility that we could definitely give a try. It's just the one risk with doing it is that um, it's not necessarily a guarantee that they would land there each time. We didn't even know they were landing in boats until we got that transmission.
Yeah, I want to talk to the sheriff and be like, you know, how did the other groups that attacked us? How'd they get here? Like, what did you do to investigate?
Um, we sent out patrols into the jungle to the north and south because we figured that maybe they'd landed a ship or a drop shuttle on land, or specifically on land on this continent, and then approached on foot. We didn't have a reason to suspect that they might have used boats, which in retrospect feels a bit silly now that, I mean, given that it's largely an ocean planet.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, what we need is to secure the coast. It seems like they're coming in from the northeast, um, from the volcanic island chain. So we got to secure the coast. They don't seem to be using air transport. Um, at least this time, it would have been a lot quicker. So you know that may mean that they're not willing to risk any of their aircraft, and they want to be stealthier.
Yeah, I That definitely sounds like an accurate assessment, which would also explain why they have an easier time slipping in. Because, if we saw a drop shuttle, flying in on the horizon from say the north, and then they approach on foot from the north, and it's pretty obvious that they're coming in by air. But if they are coming in by boat and nobody's checking the coast, then I definitely agree with your assessment. So
Yeah.
I'll see to it that we get some cameras set up and motion tracker, like sort of relay station set up in the jungle. So if they do land, then we'd see them and also get an early warning that they're coming. So
Yeah.
we'll look into
Is
that as a solution.
could we manufacture like a radar that we could put on the coast and that would give us warning? Because it would
Yeah,
cover a big range.
yeah, the colony has the resource. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be quick, but the colony would have the resources to do that.
Yeah. So yeah, we should. Let's I want the team to draw up plans for a radar installation near the coast. The idea is that we could cover a huge range to both the north and the south of any aircraft or boats that are approaching, and that would give us more confidence to detect them. I mean, they could go outside of the range of the radar, but then that'd be a pretty far walk
Yeah,
through the
exactly.
jungle.
Yep. So that'll then the security team, like Sheriff Jones says, he'll relay those orders to the engineering department and see it, he says he'll see to it that that they get some sort of relay equipment, cameras and motion sensors set up in that area, so that way, if they come back that route, then we'll know that they're coming. So I'll say that around that time that you're doing all this stuff, that is when Simone shows up with Arturo. And obviously, and I would assume that in this case, just to streamline the process, is like obviously there's a front desk where there's one of the officers manning it, and that person basically says like, "Hey, what brings you here to Simone and Arturo?"
Excuse me. Is sorry. My brain is dying, and I forgot your name for a second.
Albert.
uh, yeah. Is Albert in? I need to talk to him.
Sure. Hold on, and then basically, yeah, like Albert, you get paged by like the desk officer who is saying, "Sir, there are two people here who wish to speak with you." This is like, what was your name, miss?
Simone Kowalski.
I've got a
Yeah.
Simone Kowalski here to speak with you.
Okay, I'll be right there. And out of character, like I know, I guess I've given the orders, so there's not really anything for me to micromanage. So I
Yeah,
have the
no,
time
now,
to talk.
yeah, 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 you've got time to pursue your own projects now that you've got the rest of the team working on that. So, all right, well, what are we doing here?
So I walk up. I guess do I have an office? I could like have them come into my office.
Yeah, you would have your own office.
Okay, so I get the front desk guy to wave them into my office, and I guess I'm at my desk or whatever, and so I don't think I've met Arturo, so I say I welcome Simone and say, hey, good to
Hey,
see you
man.
again. Thanks for assisting on the operation earlier today.
Yeah, it's no issue. Glad I could be of some service.
Yes, we need people to get jobs done. There's a lot of work to do, as you can tell, with to secure the colony. And so I say, so like, have we actually met? Like, do I know who Arturo is at
You would
all?
potentially recognize him from the shootout because he was the guy. Like he was one of the few people who actually had a gun and fought back. But you have not directly spoken to him. Like you would recognize
Okay.
him, but you haven't actually interacted with him yet.
So I'll basically like I don't think we've met, but I saw that you were quick on your feet to respond at the assembly attack yesterday, or I guess it was this morning, right?
Yeah, it was this
Um,
morning.
Yes. So, thank you for acting quickly to protect the colony, Mister.
Presidente. Uh, it's purely coincidental. Um,
Mr. Presidente.
yeah,
Thank you. I'm Albert Zims. I guess what's my official position right now? Like assistant sheriff or something?
Yeah, like you would probably, in terms of the command structure, like prior to you showing up, there were two deputies, and I would say that you're probably like the senior deputy, I guess. Like the deputies are
Well,
basically equivalent of
I
like
don't want that. So
corporals.
I'm gonna say that my title is vice sheriff.
Okay.
vice chair.
I'm cool with that. You can call yourself that if you want. It's probably
Vice
better.
Sheriff Zims. What can I do for you?
Well, Sheriff Sims, and I'm gonna reach out my hand to shake his hand. Um, you know, gotta show that I'm a stand-up guy. You know, and I'm gonna say, well, there's something interesting I ran into while I was checking out an unrelated matter. I discovered there were some inconsistencies with the compensation at the shipyard, and that's what it was, right? Like a
It's
shipyard, or
an
was it the docks?
engineering district.
Well, yeah, but that area in
Oh, the
particular was
specific. Well, to clarify, the engineering district is overseen by like one of the higher level command people of the colony is Royce Havelock. He oversees engineering matters like entirely, but there are different crews like vehicle bay crews, munitions, starport, all that kind of stuff. Like there are different departments. It's just he's the one specifically managing that sort of level of the colony.
okay. Yeah. So, well, I was looking into unrelated matter. Um, Came across something interesting. Now, it is, of course, a known. Actually, again, out of character. Is it a known fact that they came in on the boats, or is that like a private thing that's not really?
Um, so far, the only people who knew about the Russians coming in on the boats would be all of the cops now that Albert has reported back in, as well as Simone, the two background prospectors, and yeah, basically just like the cops and then three prospectors. So
Okay.
other than that, nobody else knows. I mean, obviously the whole colony knows about the attack. It's just only those people know how it was carried out.
Okay. Well, the one dude did mention that that was like in progress investigation when I talked to him while he was like working on the thing, right?
What dude? Oh, the guy that you were trying to get the money from. Um,
Yeah.
he mentioned that it was part of an investigation, but that doesn't mean that he has the details on it. Like he just
Okay.
said, like like basically the boats were, to elaborate on, it's like the boats were brought in. Um, he overheard that it was some investigation related thing, but like basically the extent of it was it's part of an investigation. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
But yeah, he
Well,
didn't say what it was.
okay. That's good. That's good to know. I don't want to like meta.
No, yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to clarify.
So something interesting. Uh, Over in engineering, there's a lot of pay shortages, right? Now, usually that wouldn't be something that is too important to, I guess, the policing side of things. That's more of like a courthouse sort of situation. However, when people are being shorted like that, that's an indication that there's a level of corruption, right? There's someone who's willing to do something very shady for a quick buck. Now, those marauders, we know they got in. We don't know how they got in exactly. They didn't come in on a helicopter. Um, Now, it's not necessarily uh, easy to say that maybe they were helped in or anything like that, but something very, very fishy going on there. And they were very cagey in engineering. An individual I spoke to seemed absolutely terrified to release any sort of details to me. He was working on a boat, something, it looked like it had gotten messed up. Couldn't tell you. But something real sketchy going on there. So, just like to take a closer look at maybe some documentation, if that something like that is available, relating to payroll, anything related financially to engineering.
Yes, I've also heard that there is discontent among the engineering staff with the leadership of Mr. Havelock.
Wouldn't the finance information be the offices for financial affairs at the company district with?
Well, I would say, I mean, I think he actually picked up on the rumors at one point. Like,
We
it was some,
discussed it
yeah, it
last
was
session.
just, yeah, it was discussed. So, um, like if memory
I know
serves, it
that there's
was,
complaints. I don't know the specifics.
yeah, like you definitely know that there's discontent with how Havelock has been running the engineering department. It's just, yeah, like as was said, you don't know the specifics of it. You just know that the workers don't really like him.
Yeah, so this may
Is
be.
that is Mr. Havelock, is that the same guy who's in charge of the Wildcatter division, or is that a
No, no,
different
no, that
guy?
was Mr. Winslow, the guy who just didn't
Okay.
seem interested in it at all.
Okay. I
Havelock's
couldn't
the
remember
chief
exactly.
engineer.
Yes.
Ah. Okay.
Though both of them
Cool.
are, both Havelock and Winslow are in the like the colony command staff. It's just they do run different departments.
Okay. Cool. I would still bring
So,
that up. I'd say, well, I know for like one, Mr. Winslow, he's pretty apathetic about it. So, I think it stretches all the way down through the engineering department and the different divisions, like the dissatisfaction with everything.
yes. So so I would be interested to know. So I would ask Mr. Presidente here, like, because this dude just shows up. He says, "My name is Presidente," and he's got like I don't know. He's smoking like a cigar or whatever.
At all times.
And I'm like,
It's put
I'm
out
like,
right now for
I'm sorry, I
respect
don't know
to
who you
indoor
are.
smoking
Like,
regulation.
what is your position exactly? Because I know Simone. We've already met. I don't know who you are.
I work for the company.
But don't let that fool you. I'm really
I'm
an
gonna be
okay
like,
guy.
I'm gonna like roll my eyes and be like, no shit, everyone on this colony works for the company.
No, but
Janitor
see,
works for the company. I mean,
That doesn't narrow it down, jackass.
Do you
Be
have
more
any idea?
specific.
Do you have any idea how little that narrows things down?
no, but see, I work for the company.
Oh
See,
Lord.
Okay. Yes. Doing what exactly?
a little bit of this and that. Right
So I'm
now,
just gonna.
I'm working on
I'm getting kind of
investigation.
annoyed at this point. So I'm just gonna like type into my computer terminal and like pull up this dude's file and see what his actual job is.
So he so
I don't.
he
That's a good question because I don't really know what it is
okay,
either.
so you were selected for your management skills, so you would be kind of in a similar position as Conrad, as like, in your case specifically, like the big note that you would find, Albert, is that this guy, when you found out before that there was a new colony admin to be who was brought in the Ninth Pilgrimage, this is that guy.
Oh, so I know. Oh, like this is the company's like potential golden boy
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. I see you're looking at my file there. I can tell by the way your eyebrows are moving.
go any wider, they're gonna escape your face. Or if they go any higher, they're gonna escape your face.
Yes.
Oh, geez, you know that's. I'm gonna look over at you like slightly disapprovingly, not because I actually disapprove, but you know I just want to, you know, want to let this guy know that I'm on his side.
Yeah, so I'm looking over the record and I'm be like, oh, so you're him, huh? You're the company's guy for the admin job.
Yeah, I think to be honest with you, there were a lot of choices they had to pick from. I don't know who was making that choice. I think I might have been at the top of the list because my name starts with an A. But you know, don't let
Well, I
that
mean, the
fool
list
you.
would be sorted alphabetically by last name, not
Yeah.
first name.
See, you would think so, but this was it's one of those weird like orbital offices. They do things a little bit differently. Some of those dudes, you know, they get a little bit in their head in those big tin cans up there. You know how it is.
Right.
Okay. Like, I don't. I'll be like, okay, yeah, well, okay, bro.
Oh Lord.
In the file, does it say what his real last name is?
Yeah, is that his actual last name, or is that just like?
It's purely coincidental. That is the last name. It's just, you know,
Okay.
just really fit the bill on all counts.
So, seems like you've got some ideas for dealing with this situation in engineering, huh?
Got some ideas. I'd like to take a closer look though, um, because I don't actually know the true extent of the problem. I've done a little bit of groundwork, uh, but really, what would help is knowing what's going on behind the scenes.
I agree, but I think your biggest concern right now is going to be your potential opponent. You know about this whiskey character?
Yeah, he doesn't have a chance. Steve, really? I don't know, man. He doesn't have the presence, and I'm not. You know, now that you mention it, uh, making a lot of people in engineering happy probably would benefit me, but that's not why I'm here. That does only serve to motivate me more. I was already, you know, like 100% motivated though, because of course this is very important. But you know, so the nice thing is you can kind of kill two birds with one stone, right? Uh, the primary thing is getting to the bottom of what's going on here. You know, where's that money going? Uh, why are people being shorted? And then setting that right. And maybe that doesn't necessarily hurt my chances with the other thing either, you know?
Let me pull up. I'm just looking up the list of the deputy people here. Give me a sec.
Of like the sheriff's department.
Yeah, yeah. I've got the list.
I think my goal is to make my, you know, out of character. I think my goal is to make my motivations completely unknowable by anyone, including myself.
Right.
You're working up to that goal pretty well. We're all confused as fuck.
Oh, me too. Me too, buddy.
If even I don't know what I'm doing, I can't be prosecuted.
I could definitely be prosecuted, but I won't be. You know, what are they
Complete
going to do?
insanity.
Bring
Well,
charges
I'll
against
ask him.
sitting presidente? Well, I'm standing right now, but
Well, you're a member of the colony admin staff. I mean, wouldn't you have access? Like, why are you asking me? You know, shouldn't you have access to what you're asking for already?
see, that's the thing. If I go to the office bureaucrats, you know bureaucrats, you know how they are. Uh, there's an apathy. There's an underlying apathy, right? You ever try to get your space driver's license renewed? They couldn't give less of a fuck, right? But you, sir, in the law enforcement department.
So anything like getting a pilot's license, a pain in the
Yeah.
ass.
In law enforcement, that's not a job that you get because you're looking for a job. That's not a job you get because you're looking for an easy job. That's a job you get because you're motivated. You have a goal to bring justice to reality. Now, I'm not going to get that if I go talk to the people in administration. But with you, I think I will get that.
Well, I'm certainly interested in resolving this problem. As you mentioned, Simone, I think we talked about this yesterday. These issues in the colony are distracting us um, from being productive and are causing internal disharmony at the very time that our colony is threatened by these mercenaries, and we can't have that. We need to be a united front. So, Mr. Presidente, well, so you should have some access, at least limited, to colony records on your own. You shouldn't have to go through any um, bureaucrats. So I would suggest you start looking what you can find through the pay records and through the finances on your own, and then you bring whatever you find to me, and we'll decide what to do about it.
Understandable. If you end up hearing anything, though, I'd appreciate uh, some sort of, letting me know, because that might be able to help me in my investigation.
Yes, we can work together on this and get things set right.
All right. I'm going to stand up, you know, reach out, shake his hand again, and at least for my dude, that seems like time to go.
Okay. Um, so you are going back. Are you going back to the engineering district to confront Wallace and or Havelock?
Not immediately. Not immediately.
Okay,
That'll
then where?
be
All right, then where are you going?
I'm not sure. I
Do
guess
you
I'll
want
look over
to?
to Simone,
Oh,
see if
So
she has any further
I still want to
purpose.
talk with Simone separately.
okay.
Yeah.
So
So
I
if I
would
need to
say,
be out of here, I'll step out and I'll wait for her outside.
okay, I'll be like, hey, I'd like to discuss with Simone um, what the expedition we had earlier today. It'll just take a few minutes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
sure.
I'll step out.
I imagine Arturo is just like he is his like ear against the door. Conversation. I don't know if he is
I
or
mean,
not,
someone
but
would notice if
that's
he
the
was doing
energy
that.
he gives
They're walking in
off.
the halls.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Definitely not
So I make
doing
I
that,
make
but
sure Arturo's out of the way, and I'll sort of look to Simone as be like, okay, what's that guy's deal?
Um,
What the fuck is wrong with him?
he's all fucked up.
um, for the life of me, I couldn't tell you. He literally just he literally just walked in the apartment building well, while I was, you know, doing some things, and he's like, "Hey there, fellow colonist. How do you do?" I forgot to
Yes,
lock the door. Need to remember to do that.
seems like he's very quickly inserting himself in all manner of events. But
Mhm. He's one wily son of a bitch with a silver tongue. I'll give you that.
yes, I'd
Excuse
recommend
me.
keeping your eye on him. He seems like a slick customer, if you know what I mean.
A
Mhm.
smooth criminal.
Yep.
A
Yes,
slick customer.
Oh man.
bad hombre.
Wish I could. Yeah, reminds me of being back home with all the slick talking city slickers, but that's a story for another day. But as you were saying.
Yes, well, I'm I'm having to focus on this the security situation with the colony, so I can't devote my full attention to the matter with Havelock. I was hoping you seem to be interested in this topic. I was hoping that you would could help me, gather some evidence and talk to talk to um, the working folks. If they see a uniform like mine, people tend to get a little bit nervous. But if it's a coworker, um, they'll probably open up a little bit more. I'd like to, find out whatever whatever we can about exactly what Havelock is doing, exactly what's going on in the engineering department. It seems like there's something suspicious.
Mhm.
I just want to
Yeah,
point out, you guys
yeah, I
totally
get the feeling
fucking made
something's
like a
going
mini
on.
arc out of something. I just want to be part of the back, like the backstory of the guy that Arturo was trying to get money from. I did not expect this, but I'm here for it.
Well, no, I mean, you already said, like, in the first session there was
Right,
this
I
but
thing
love
with
it.
Avlek, like he's
yeah,
not
but
popular with the workers, and
yeah, but still, that wasn't real. That was just more intended as background thing. But I mean, if you guys want to look into that and get more involved, I'm totally fine. I just want to make that clear. I'm fine with it. I just wasn't expecting it.
We yes anded to a point where it actually makes sense as an arc for the
Apparently
colony.
so.
yeah, I mean, I think both my character and Arturo, for potentially different reasons, but maybe for the same reason, would be interested in solving that problem, right?
You can do that.
And like getting at least some credit with the colony staff and be like, hey, these guys get shit done, right? Like I'm taking over as sheriff. Like I know that the previous sheriff, he was kind of ineffective. I want to be seen as like getting shit done. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally doable. And I mean, especially with Arturo being like colony admin elect potentially. You two would basically be eventually like not. It won't be long before you're both in a position to power to be able to, like, you can already start looking to it now. It's just you can do it even more effectively once you're like officially in charge. But
Mhm.
anyway, so was that the extent of the conversation that Albert and Simone were having?
I'm trying to think if I want to ask her. So Simone, are you willing to help me out on this? Be let's say like an unofficial deputy.
uh, yeah, I could definitely keep my ear to the ground and see if I can you know talk to people, get their opinions and stuff, and report back to you. Of course. I mean, after all, I have you know weeks until they actually send me out at my proper job, so might as well get time done doing something.
Okay, that sounds good. Is there anything else you need from me,
um,
or I can help you with?
uh, could you have someone change the locks at our apartment, please?
Well, I will say the locks. It's like,
Because
I
so
mean,
no one knows.
you can
I do
lock the
live there.
doors. It's just you have. It's just you do have like access cards and like pin numbers and stuff that you can use to get in. It's just
Yeah.
you left the door unlocked, so he could just stroll on in.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, I need to put a sticky note somewhere, just stick it to my head of use the door code and don't leave the door standing wide open for who
I do live
knows.
there, right?
Yeah, you do. You're one of the
Yeah.
housemates.
So I mean I
But everyone
probably
everyone
have the
has
key
their.
card
Maybe you can
anyway.
show the residential thing. Everyone has like their own like
Yes, sure.
living
I'll
thing.
I'll bring that up. Like,
Mhm.
hold on,
Okay.
housing is because
Yeah,
basically, and we
that's
didn't
fine.
establish which room is Arturo's, but you'd have your pick of like one of these three rooms.
Oh boy. Oh man. I'm gonna pick the one that doesn't have a window, so I'm less vulnerable to getting shot. Um,
Damn, now that's an attitude.
Okay, so hold on. I'll just move you there for a second. Then
Yeah.
where
That's
is
a good
the?
sign of things to come.
Hey, when you're working to uproot corruption that goes deep, you become a target.
Definitely, when I think of a guy who's named Presidente, I think of anti-corruption advocate.
Absolutely.
Boy, of course.
Yeah, no,
We
no
can't
doubt
have
about it.
anyone else being corrupt in this colony.
Anyone else? keep phrasing.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Keyword there.
so
Okay, so if
yeah.
Simone, do you actually need anything else from me?
Nothing that springs to mind now. Hopefully you can you get everything settled, because I realized this barged right in and was like, yeah, I need to talk to you, and you're probably busy. Sorry, man.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
It's not like there's
not a big
anything
deal.
important
Just
going
trying to
on.
prevent colonists from being murdered by Russian psychopaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that
But yeah, let's talk about
little
your
that
door.
little tiny
How you
thing.
forgot to lock your door. Yeah.
That's gonna become the running
Got a triage.
joke of this campaign. How absent-minded is Simone? But if she, well, because I'm playing the character much like my actual personality, extremely. So
Okay.
that answers the question.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, yeah, I think then Albert probably go back to coordinating the radar dish construction and organizing the cameras and like whatever other security
okay.
stuff we're working on.
All right. So in that case, Simone, you head out.
One.
Oh,
Sorry.
sure.
Yes,
Yep.
she heads. So if there's nothing else, she can head out, and then I want to do one thing, and then I'll be done.
Okay. So Simone leaves the office, and then what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna just ping what's her name, Alexandra, and I'm gonna ask her, hey, while you're looking into this whiskey guy, look into this Presidente guy as well.
Oh shit.
Man,
Oh god. All
what
right.
did I do except be extremely suspicious?
um. Well, I'll say this in terms of like a good incentive. So Blitz, if you give me any major like let's say like 2 or 3 major points about Arturo's background, which I can help you fine tune. Like this is obviously between sessions. I will actually give you a story point for that.
Okay.
So,
And that's definitely going to be used against me, but it's worth it.
well, yeah,
And
I'm
it
saying,
makes things interesting.
and obviously don't make it simple things like, oh, he went to this elementary school. I mean, like if there were any major, like potentially incriminating events in your background, like that kind of stuff is what I'm looking for. And I mean, if you
He
come up
built
with,
too many
Yeah.
orphanages.
yeah,
He
Oh
volunteered for
no.
way too long past the legal working hours limit.
yeah, um, he may or yeah, I don't know. So but if you give me some examples of that between sessions, like stuff that Alexandra could dig up, then I will actually reward you a story point for that. Um,
Okay.
so I'll remind you later on if you want. Um, but yeah, just keep that in mind. So okay, so Albert calls Simone or not Simone, Alexandra, and she gives it like confirmation. Um, and then so Simone leaves the office, and then El Presidente is probably chilling in the lobby, like the waiting room, and you come out. Well, yeah, you were planning to do that, right? Wait in the waiting room for Simone, or were you going to head out on your own?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I'll just, hang out and uh I guess look at the wrench that's still on the table. It's like, huh.
Well,
Never.
I'm talking about you're still at the police station though, is what I was.
Oh, am I? Oh,
I just moved the map over so you could see the housing unit.
yeah, sorry.
Um,
Little bit tired.
that's okay.
I'm definitely the absent-minded thing. It might be a little infectious. Um, yeah, I guess I'll just twiddle my thumbs and look at the cop magazines that they've got in the waiting room. Like, oh, yeah, that's a cool holster.
um, so or there's an outdated magazine from the 2030s, like the Wayland Storm Rifle, the rifle of the future, or something. Um,
Yeah, look
circa
how well that went.
2034.
It's it's this it's this universe's version of like the Guns and Bullets magazines from Fallout.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh God.
Um, so yeah, so yeah, Simone enters the lobby, and so yeah, what are you guys doing next?
Well,
What's Conrad doing? I mean, have we done much with
What?
him?
You have not
Well,
seen him
depends
since the shootout.
when. Yeah, it depends when Cody says the time is up for the
Well, yeah,
work.
I
Yeah.
was going to say that like probably after like whatever, if there's going to be like some dialogue between, because I definitely don't want to keep you waiting.
yeah.
But it's just that like if there's any, well, let me ask you this. So for Simone and Arturo, would you want to jump like save your conversation for later and jump over to Conrad? Because I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
Yeah, we could do
so
that.
so Conrad, yeah, I'll say after all the stuff with Arturo and Kowalski, and then later on with Albert as well. You put in some your I guess required hours for the day, and yeah, oh,
Before Conrad finishes his hours and before he heads out, during the work he was doing, he during filing the report and everything, he tried to check the financial quarterly reports of
engineering.
how not just engineering, generally the whole colony. So by the company standards, how well has it been doing?
Like it's like it's financial reports.
Yeah, basically, does the colony, does the company see Terra Nova as being successful up until now, or has it started to have diminishing returns or something like that?
Yeah, it's definitely been on kind of a downward slope. It's not like on the brink of like going into debt or anything or being like no longer profitable. Um, but it definitely is doing nowhere near as well as it has, and you can probably deduce the fact that between the marauders attacking and the both incompetence and corruption in most of the departments, there is definitely room for improvement.
Oh, that's beautiful. Because of course Connor is looking for good reasons and excuses for one day getting rid of replacing his superior officer as the company representative for the board of the colony.
Well, I
So
will
yeah,
point out the board of
that's
the
good. Yeah.
colony, just for clarification. The guy you answer to at the office is not part of the command staff. Like you answer to
Oh,
him,
no, no.
and then he answers to the actual corporate director, Audrey Lattimore.
Okay. Okay. So I have a few steps there. Okay.
Yeah, like you
I'll
could
be
potentially,
replacing them one at a time.
yeah, you could potentially take his job, and then eventually go after Lattimore's job. But I will point out, like as a little bit of party cooperation, if you so choose, I will make this point clear mainly to Arturo that if you manage to defeat Stevel in the election, you can organize your government however you want to. I.e., you
Oh,
could make,
absolutely.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you could have the fucking janitor be his part of the staff if you really wanted to, but not that you would want to, but like if you
Oh,
wanted
the
Director
to,
of sanitation.
the admin has complete control over the other head people of the districts.
um, I would say, I mean, I would say definitely not because Blitz's plans for how he would run his government, but um, given that like Terra Nova, in terms of efficiency, I mean, as you said, and as it's been made clear to everybody, the government, like the local planetary government, has not been doing so well. So, as long as you choose carefully and you don't just choose like people who are even worse than the current staff, he could probably get away with it.
That would be pretty
Okay.
difficult.
I mean, it depends on who you choose. Because, like, for example, if you replaced, you know, uh, Winslow with Simone, because Winslow was established as like just being extremely apathetic, not caring at all. Um, Simone has more like vigor, more enthusiasm for prospecting that could potentially yield better results.
Yeah,
So
that
like
would be
if
a
you put,
poignant choice.
yeah, and similar to like if Conrad helps you and or he feel like he would do a better job than Lattimore, then you could easily choose to put him as the corporate director.
Exactly. And
So
I'm absolutely going to put all of my friends in positions of power.
then there you go. So
As
basically,
you
I'm just hinting to, like, I'm not necessarily saying that to hint to Conrad to butter up to Arturo. I'm just saying that if either or both of you want to do that, that is something that as players you have the power to do. I'm just making that clear.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
so
That'll be
that
interesting
could
to
potentially
see.
help you shortcut your way to a position of power.
Interesting, interesting.
So
Yeah, we'll consider that. But
okay,
okay, so that's what Conrad needed to know regarding before he leaves. And just as he's leaving, he'll be just kind of giving an kind of unimportant, almost just a short comment to his superior there. Uh, I hope the company will remember and respect that even a couple of hours after getting shot, I take my duties here seriously and get right back to work as soon as I can. All for the good of the company and this colony.
absolutely. He says, like, that's the kind of spirit we've been sort of lacking in the colony as a whole. Glad to see that you have it, especially after getting shot, putting your life on the line for the colony.
I'm glad to be able to help. Uh,
So
we will. I think there will be more opportunities for people with passion to come along and make things right here. Make this place more lively and shine again. See you tomorrow then, sir. Farewell.
have a good one.
And as he steps out, he's planning to go to the bar first
Yep, as I
to
suspected.
Oh,
So
talk to his friendly neighborhood bartender.
okay, I'll bring us over here. So yeah, hide those tokens, make this one visible. Um, so yeah, you mosey over to the bar, and Garvey sees you and it's like, well, Conrad, what brings you here?
Oh, well, after a long day of work and being shot at, I think having another drink of that lovely domestic beer you gave me would be more than helpful for my situation. So, please, another one of those lovely things
He
that
says,
you
cool, it's coming
mentioned.
right up. And because yeah, again, Australian accent and all, I don't know
oh,
how well I
dude,
pulled
that's
off, but just
awesome.
ride with me. So he goes, he prepares you another drink, and you know, obviously, kind of, he hands you the drink, sort of rubs his fingers together, implying, all right, payment, because you remember how much it was like 20 a drink. So
Yep, he'll give his
okay,
standard. Then, he'll give 40.
oh, and he says, and the generosity keeps on going. Thank you very much, good sir. And he pockets it. Um,
No
so
problem. Tell me, you're a smart man. I can see it in your eyes. I mean,
he grins smugly when you say that.
and I have a very important respect for people who pay attention to the details. And rarely have I come across a bartender that does not know um, how things are being operated. And just between you and me, as it kind of leans and whispers a bit, honestly, I think that people like you, in the sense you were the true kind of shadow bosses in some metaphorical sense. You hear what's going around. You are able to mediate between people, and I think that it's good for us to have capable people like that here. I would really appreciate if any kind of interesting information you see, you also are able to share with like-minded, smart people who um, have the good of this place in mind, if you understand what I mean.
And he says, well, I might. What'd you have in mind?
Uh, tell me, since I'm new here, and I'm working with the company agent area there at the managerial sector. About the company representative, how do you feel? How has uh, he been doing his job here? Is there anything I need to know about my top boss right now?
Are you talking about Audrey, like how she's doing?
Yeah, is she the staff at the highest level? Yeah,
Yeah, she's
yeah,
effectively
her
second in
then.
command of the colony at large.
Yeah, yeah. I'm bad with names, so I forget that. Yeah,
That's
but
okay.
then
I mean,
Audrey,
like I said,
her.
you can always check in the handouts that I posted in Discord if you
Oh
want to
yeah.
get caught up on. I might also make a handout in game for simplicity, but I'll do that later. Um, so he says regarding Audrey um, that like he phrases it in also again accent. Like for longer phrases, I kind of fade out of it just for you guys' reference. But he goes on to explain the fact that Audrey, that Miss Lattimore is basically the teacher's pet regarding Wayland Core. Like she um, is not necessarily unpopular in the way that Havelock and Winslow are. Well, Havelock, Winslow, and basically everybody who isn't the chief science officer and uh, Miss Henderson. Um, but I mean, she gets results, but she's pretty much, you know, has total favor from the company.
Hmm. But I'm getting a sense that she's not absolutely loved by all staff here. Am I correct?
And he says, "Well, she's no Havelock."
That's not much of a comparison. So so she's not the worst. She just the second, uh, second on the list from the bottom up. But
Depending on who you ask.
hmm. Well, I'm asking you as somebody who hears a lot from not just the higher ups, but from the everyday people here, the colonists.
Was that hold on? Was that a question or was that just sort of a
Yeah,
statement?
yeah. In the sense like, what do the colonists, the working Joe, what do they feel about her?
Um, they don't really have any kind of opinion on her. Well, for them, well, when I say that, it's like the working class don't really have a reason to look down on her or look up to her for that matter, because most of their like most of their complaints uh, are run through, and he goes on to explain this. They're run through the union steward Sky Henderson, and she relays the voice, like sort of the voice of the people, to the higher ups. To people like the colonial supervisor, the colony admin, as well as Miss Lattimore. Um, though the problem is that um, the big issue is that Lattimore um, is more or less the main opposition for Sky, but the people don't really are more or less none the wiser to it. Some are, but the working class in general, they just don't really look beyond, like they don't look into the specifics. They know the situation sucks, but they just don't know, like, okay, it sucks because of this specific person.
They don't have direct contact with her, so they don't know who's to blame. They have their representative.
Yeah,
Understood.
and again, as was stated before, especially with the situation with the Russians, their issue is they just look to whoever the big name is, which in this case is the colonial supervisor Victor Croft.
Yeah, yeah, understood there. But regarding since you mentioned the Union Steward Sky, I mean, we were supposed to meet all of the commanding staff at the kind of uh, the representation there before we got jumped by the damn
Well, I will
marauders.
correct amend that you actually weren't supposed to meet all of them. You were just basically the sheriff was there to give like an orientation speech on like the situation of the colony and stuff. Like it wasn't supposed
Oh,
to be a
oh,
meet and
okay.
greet for all the high level people.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, retcon that. But
That's okay.
since you mentioned Sky, I was kind of interested in having a chat with her, since it seems that she's the most informed about how everything is working together and how it syncs up all of the departments. Because, as you say, all of the working people, which are the greatest number here, they all have their complaints and comments routed to her. So, did you by any chance know where I could find her? And when does she usually accept appointments with people?
So he says, Garvey kind of, crosses his arms and says, like, well, you asked the right guy, because I may or may not know how to get in contact with her.
Oh, really? I would really appreciate that. That would mean a lot, Garvey.
Yeah, and he just gives a little bit of context of like he has sort of an unofficial deal with Sky in the sense that, um, like basically, the bartend like obviously at the bar is kind of a one of the main sources of recreation, coming here after, work or after something stressful. And, he hears a lot of things. Obviously he talks to the patrons, he overhears a bunch of drunken, gossip and so on and so forth. And that makes him a pretty useful informant to Sky. So he has a direct pipeline to her to relay the stuff that people might not otherwise want to directly share or might not be able to directly share. So um, he does make it clear that he can get into contact with her, and if you want, he says he can't guarantee it, but he can potentially arrange a meeting for you.
Of course, I would appreciate an opportunity just to speak with her. That would mean a lot.
And well, he asks. I mean, he says that you know. I mean, it's like I don't know if you're busy right now, but I could give her a call and see if she's available.
Oh, well, I'd be glad to do it right now. Yeah, thank you. I'd love
All
to.
right, give me a sec. And so he basically points to his one of his interns here at the bar, tells him to watch the plays, and he's gonna go into his office. He's gone for probably like 5 to 10 minutes, talking on the phone, and then he comes back out and he says, "Your luck. She's got some downtime. Would be willing to meet you in the meeting room here. Uh, One caveat is that you know, she's because you're kind of an unknown variable, she's going to have one of the security team members just there to supervise.
Of
So
course, completely
so
understandable.
okay. So in
Thank
terms
you.
of
I'll wait in there then.
yeah, there's a meeting room over there. So um, basically, so you'll be in the meeting room, and then um, so eventually there's a knock on the door, and in come two people. Now the first one is a fairly youthful woman, probably like late 20s, early 30s. Definitely somewhat kind of young for the position, but still. And the other thing is, I don't know how perceptive Conrad would be in terms of recognizing people he's only seen briefly, but of the security officer that was specifically well, not necessarily specifically chosen by Jones, but was just kind of picked around like, hey, you go do this, Dustin.
I'm not sure. I mean, he is very kind of trying to be aware of all the details, but I could roll observation just to see if that is something that he clocked or not.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
passive.
because yeah, because I mean, if you feel like, because I mean, on one hand, you're a company agent, you got to be kind of shrewd and observant, but at the same time, whether you pick up on the
Yeah,
fact
it
that
was
this
only a
guy is
short.
significant to Albert is something that I'm
Oh,
just going to
yeah,
kind of see if you would pick up on
yeah,
that,
of
because that may or
course.
may not influence things. Okay, so you do
So he does
recognize this guy,
remember. Yeah,
like
he
you
does
do,
remember that he
yeah.
was with Albert.
You don't know his name, but you recognize this guy as one of the security team members, and especially as one of the security team members who was with Albert yesterday. So
Okay, okay.
So Sky, and then this guy enter the room. The guy shuts the door, and basically he just stands with his back against the wall, his arms crossed. He does have a holstered pistol, but it obviously, again, is holstered, not actually drawn. And so Sky walks over to you, and she says, "Hi, you must be Conrad."
Yes, Conrad Bass. A pleasure to meet you. You must be the
Sky
union
Henderson.
steward,
It's very nice to
Sky
meet you, she
Henderson,
says as she offers a hand to shake.
as well.
And so she
You,
takes a seat
you
and
stand to.
says, "Well, Mr. Bass, what can I do for you?"
Well, I'm new here. I am a company representative, a company agent in the managerial sector there, and I was just generally trying to get the lay of the land and to hear if there is anything that the company department can help with getting this place working at its best as it once was. I would be really glad to hear what do our workers here think is good and what is faulty. If you have
So
any
she
specific information there.
sort of does like like sort of like finger tapping her thumbs, just kind of pondering. It's like, well, I mean, I don't know how much you've overheard, so please stop me if if I'm mentioning something you're already aware of. Um, as I'm sure you know, I am the union steward of Terra Nova, and it is my job to uh, represent the working class with the higher levels of administration. Um, we have endured many problems in the colony in recent months. Obviously, the situation with these marauders who keep attacking our colony, and she's like counting on her fingers, and there's
I've seen firsthand
yeah,
as he kind of gestures to his uh, tourniquet wounds and everything.
yikes.
Like, yeah.
Um, but so it's like the issue with the marauders, the discontent with um, the staff of both the prospecting departments and especially um, the engineering department. There's been a lot of tension there, and admittedly some even higher level administrative conflict between the heads of the department, including myself, with such figures such as Brett Winslow and Royce Havelock. Um, I have tried to push for the like advocate for the rights of these of the working class here in Terra Nova, um, but Miss Lattimore has Miss Lattimore, Mr. Winslow, and especially Mr. Havelock have both or have all obstructed my efforts. And though Victor Croft has full say over all of this, he admittedly, um, well, it would be unprofessional of me to speak ill of him, but um, I will say this that he has definitely been more focused on trying to deal with these marauders, but his results have not been successful thus far. It is my hope that perhaps a change in the roster of the colony staff can potentially um, see improvement. As I understand it, there has been uh, a new sheriff elect who will be replacing Sheriff Jones. And I would say that, especially because Conrad, you're facing Sky, and by extension Dustin. You actually, I would say, they'll give this free. Dustin kind of smirks a little bit when Albert is implicitly mentioned, um, but he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
make that
Conrad will
obvious. It's
take
just like
note
a
of that.
sly grin. Um, but she says that Sky's like there's a new sheriff elect, and then there's going to be an election for a new colony administrator, um, and hopefully that might begin sort of a ripple effect of you know seeing some change, whether it's in policies or even just a change in whoever is calling the shots to bring this colony back to the level of prosperity it used to have.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. That. So, Sky, tell me, do you then believe that the current tensions are mostly because the administration is too much focused on trying to uh, fix the situation with the Marauders, yet failing?
Um, I mean, the thought has occurred to me. It's um,
You believe that may be taking up time and resources from
oh,
focusing
absolutely,
on other departments? Mm, okay,
and
understood.
especially where there's been tension and fear that has not meshed well with the way the management has been handling, or the management of certain departments have been performing. They have not. It's not a good combination.
But do you believe that if did these tensions start when the marauders started appearing, or were they already present even before that? If I've understood you correctly, I'm not sure I did.
They have been um, the tensions with um, the Marauders kind of flared up after I started noticing some. Because the thing is that we had a change in about 5 years ago was when certain, I guess, political. I mean, obviously we all work for Wayland Corps, but to use politics as an analogy, for lack of a better term, the political structure changed somewhat. Certain people were phased out and new ones were brought in, and some of those new ones were people um, who their methods were. I won't name names again to remain professional, but their methods caused more harm than good.
Understood. Understood. Well, to be frank, Miss Guy, I, as a representative of the company, I believe in results and efficiency. But unlike some short-minded, maybe company representatives, I understand that you cannot get any results if you don't have anybody who's going to work for you in the correct conditions. So I understand that these tensions are a really big problem that need to be resolved. I'm hoping that with these elections here, that a new turnover will definitely help there. But I will definitely try my best with my superiors to let them know that, uh, especially the company department, along with engineering and the wildcatter part there, that the things need to be a bit reformed there. If I understand what have you been saying here, without the correct results, I mean, I if they're not, if the workers aren't, if the workers are getting more and more agitated with them, then things will come to a stop eventually. I feel that um, that maybe if we had different talks with the heads of those departments, that maybe something can be resolved there, because the workers want better conditions and probably want better pay. And I am kind of perplexed that when we are on a new blooming new virgin planet, that we have all these resources and potential, and we should not be constrained in any sort of way to have any reasons of having workers with subpar conditions. So to me, that can only mean that something at the scouting wildcat department, the resources are not being utilized correctly. That with the engineering department, we are not then obviously building the correct facilities for the complete usage and manipulation of the environment and resources, and the company is not focusing on the correct priorities. I understand. First, we have to deal with the marauders. I've seen that myself. But after that is dealt with, my from what I've been hearing, that seems like the next steps will are other things that will be needed so that these workers here can have their better conditions. Would you agree with that assessment, Gideon
Wholeheartedly.
Stewart? Okay, okay, then I am I'm glad for this meeting. Thank you for clearing a few things up for me here. And honestly, I am very glad to have met you, and I think there's a bright future for this colony, and I think we will be working together quite tightly in the future.
And she says, yes, I concur. It's definitely nice to speak to a company representative who actually seems to have the people's best interests in mind. Tell you what, she says, and she um, actually like she basically gives you like her, like her like work phone number, so like you can contact her. She says like you seem like somebody who I can rely on. If you ever need to get in touch with me, then please use this number, though obviously be um, respectful and um, I can't think of the word, but basically she's saying like obviously don't go around like just sharing it. Like like banking her trust in you because she believes that you have the like you want to do the right thing. So
Absolutely, no problem. This is for my eyes only, confidential. You will delegate your own information to other people. I I have no business in uh, sharing anything that is not told to me to share. So no worry there.
okay.
And by the way, before we finish the meeting, I've heard that in the engineering section that sometimes our employees some accidents are happening that if my calculations are correct, that it seems to be going at a higher percentage rate than the usual company standards for allowed accidents and interventions. It seems that we're having a bit more incidents than expected. Is that true?
She says I've heard the rumors though I haven't been able to confirm if they're true.
Okay,
Though if that's something you want to
I will
look
check.
into, I would definitely encourage it.
I will check into that.
Thank
And
you.
do I have your blessing in then talking to the head of the engineering department to try to get this resolved from the company district's angle at least?
She says that if yeah, I mean obviously I don't have the power to say you can't talk to him. Um, though obviously I mean I haven't necessarily been on you know amiable speaking terms with him, so any effort to speak to Mr. Havelock it falls on you alone. Though I
Okay,
do wish you
okay,
well in your efforts to do so. And she says, if there's
understood.
nothing else, then I do need to get going.
I won't hold you any longer, but if I need to speak to Mr. Havelock, is there anything I should know particularly about him? Anything uh, special, particularly regarding him that's
Are you
not
talking about like his out of curiosity, like
evidently?
are you like his behavior or anything information wise?
Well, he's trying to see how much he can get out of Sky there, but yeah, he's kind of implying just behavior-wise, like
Um,
uh, how to approach him if Sky knows just like what's the best manner in which to
well,
do it. Like,
she'll say that in her interactions with him, over the years, she's definitely said that he's the kind of person that hates repeating himself. So if he tells you something, you definitely would want to listen to it.
okay, okay,
He's
understood. I'll keep
definitely
that of
not
note.
necessarily short fused in like an explosive outburst sort of way, but he definitely um his patience is very delicate, and
I'll keep
he
that in
he
mind.
will very like potentially. I mean, you know, listen to him and choose your words carefully. Those are the two best pieces of advice I can give you.
Splendid, splendid. That I can do. Well, Miss Sky, thank you very much for this meeting, for allocating your time, and I won't hold you any longer, bore you with any details. Uh,
Okay,
we'll see each other in the coming days.
absolutely. It was very nice getting to meet you. And she will get up and she looks over to Dustin and says, officer, you're dismissed. And she will exit stage right, and Dustin will just kind of glance over to you, and he'll walk out.
Good. Okay, yeah, then he'll just he'll be very kind of content with the information he's learned here, and he'll be probably off to um he'll be off to actually his quarters. And before I probably leave to the other players to continue, can I do? I don't know if I need an observation roll for it or if I can just naturally see it. Uh, good. So in our public areas of our rooms, the diner and
Oh, like the
everything.
common rooms?
Yeah, the common rooms. Uh, which, yeah, the kitchen plus dining and living room and stuff. Uh, best, let's say, hiding spots for little itty bitty items. Is
Um,
that something that if nobody is here,
oh, are you
of
trying to
course,
put like a little like not necessarily comm link in Star Wars terms, like a little radio camera or something like that?
he's not trying to put anything yet because he does not have
Well,
anything
I
yet.
understand.
But
I'm just asking, is
uh,
that what you're trying to do?
yep. He's
Okay.
scouting out for where he could in future put
Um,
things.
you could um I wouldn't make you roll to put it somewhere, but definitely if somebody is actively looking for, which I mean, hopefully nobody like metagames that, but I mean, unless you have like reason to suspect it in character, but um, if you want to put something in the kitchen, there are um, there's like a space between the cabinets. There's a you can put it under the cabinets because it's not like they're completely anchored to the floor. Like there's a space under them. I mean, you could fucking put it under the table if you wanted to, as
Yeah,
just
that
as
was
risky
his
as that is.
first idea,
Yeah, you can put it under the
but
table. You can
yeah.
put it under one of the chairs. You can put it under um the counter or the fridges and cabinets. I mean, whatever you want to do.
Okay,
Um,
so it's possible. That's all he needed to know. I'm not doing
okay.
anything now, and I'm
I
not saying
understand. I
I
just wanted to make that clear
100%
to you.
will, but but yeah. So since I know it's now possible, he will definitely take that into consideration for the future.
Okay. So question I have for the group. It is effectively 4 p.m. Do you guys want to play a little longer, or would you rather wrap here? Because I definitely have more ideas for scenes here, but I mean, if everybody wants to call it here, that's fine too.
I'm okay either way.
I would like to finish.
Okay.
Okay.
I could definitely keep going.
Okay. So, um, Emily, are you there?
Oh, yep, I'm here. I've just been listening quietly. I got back a couple minutes ago.
Okay.
I should have sounded off when I got back. Sorry. I'm good doing either.
Okay. Um, well, since there are two either ways, and then one keep going, and then one I'd rather end here. I guess I'm sort of the tiebreaker. I think it's probably a natural point to stop.
Yeah,
Okay.
if one can't, I think that might be better then.
Yeah, and especially with only 4 players, pun intended. I don't want to alienate anybody. So, um,
Yeah.
in that case, so XP wise, you all get straight up 5 because that's kind of what we're sticking with this time. And if you want to learn any talents, if you want to increase a skill, whatever you want to do, just let me know.
Hmm. Uh, will I roll the wits for a new talent or increase the skill? Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna. I'm a talent addict, so
That
yeah,
makes
I'm
two of
gonna do
us.
me a wits.
All right. What are you learning?
Nice. I'm learning the agent one, where you can push twice wits.
Oh,
Take
I
what's that one
control.
think
called?
Take control. I think.
I think that's it. Just
Take
I need to see it.
control is rolling manipulation with wits instead of empathy.
Yeah, no, I already
Why is
have
it
that.
listed as a kid talent? I know for a fact it isn't.
Yeah. The thing that it's listed as talents for different, that's all messed up. I have no idea why
Yeah, no
that's the
idea. But that
case.
take
But
control is definitely a company agent talent, and yeah, that's the one that
yeah,
lets you roll wits.
wits instead of. But no, there is a company one that lets you do wits twice, to push twice. So
Cunning, I
I will
think.
check. Oh, yeah, it's
Inquisitive, I
cunning.
think.
No, inquisitive's
Uh,
for scientists.
Oh,
Cunning is the one
yeah.
for company agents.
Yay! Yeah, that's cunning. That's exactly. Oh, great. I'm taking that.
All
so
right.
you're learning that one?
Yep. So that's what I spent my XP on.
Hey,
Okay.
buddy. Oh man, what you reading there? What you man? Care to maybe share a little bit of knowledge?
Like, you mean the cunning for the talent
Yeah,
to learn?
yeah, yeah.
Well. Oh, wait, but that's a career talent, unless.
Well, he's a company agent as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, we haven't introduced
Yeah, I was
ourselves
going to say that you
yet.
Oh
guys
yeah.
have been in the same scene together once and never spoke.
Oh. Oh, hey, buddy.
Good.
Hey, how you
We
doing?
can we can do it for then when we introduce ourselves next time,
Yeah,
and then
yeah, because I was
the
going to
XP
suggest
for
like
the next.
potentially El Presidente, if you want to learn like personal safety, and then next session when you guys get your XP, then you guys can teach each other the talents that the other missed. I mean,
Oh, you
unless you
got a
somehow
point.
don't meet next session, which I would be fucking shocked. But
We
Oh
do
no,
both have
we,
good
we'll
wits.
definitely meet. We'll definitely meet next time. Conrad needs to see
yeah, it's just
Arturo.
fucking wild that it's like the end of the second session and two characters have literally never met or never spoken.
Yeah.
It's
Well, that
interesting.
that's what happens when we have differing objectives, and I'm honestly very curious to see what will Conrad's demeanor be towards Arturo, because from the things he has heard and seen of him, and depending on how Arturo will probably act, uh, it'll be a very calculated move to see how friendly Conrad is supposed to be. But it'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Um,
Oh, if anyone wants fast reflexes, I can teach that one without having to roll for it. That's the
Oh,
initiative one.
that's very good for survival things.
So, quick question. Do you think pool rank would apply? Uh,
um, it for a well, it's per raw and officer talent, but keep in mind pull rank is for command when you don't have command.
oh yeah, good
It
point.
wouldn't be useful to you.
I don't think I want to take personal safety just because, well, that seems like a later on thing.
Yeah, until after you become colony admin, you've got the CIA trying to kill you. But
Yeah. Once I'm able to, you know, make my problem someone else's problem, that's when I'll.
Well, Conrad has also personal safety, so eventually you can easily learn it from him whenever you want to. If
Oh,
oh, you started with
okay.
it?
you're, oh, I started with take control, and
Oh, and then you took personal
and last
safety.
session I took, yeah, after my
Oh,
close
okay. I didn't
encounter.
realize you already had that. Okay, never mind. Um, so
Perform perform is definitely not a wildcatter talent. That's for the singer.
yeah, the entertainer.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
strange. A wildcatter with perform.
It really good singing in the shower.
Yeah, all these are borked. You have to check
Yeah,
the book for what career they're a part of.
I can look up for BBW for wildcatter if you want.
yeah. Where is Wildcatter talents?
I'll
Where
look it up
else?
in the
Oh,
book.
I'm looking it up too because I'm curious.
No, nice.
Oh, same.
Wildcatters have the right
So,
path,
yep.
prospecting, and miracle mechanic. You already have prospecting, but miracle mechanic, at least on paper, kind of sucks. And the right path
Yeah.
is decent.
Hmm.
Oh,
Maybe
trustworthy
general
is for the
talent.
entertainer, because trustworthy
Yeah.
is a cool one, but alas.
Yeah, entertainer has a lot of really good like social talents, but it's unfortunate they're career specific.
Hey, Cody, I got a question.
What's up?
The intense focus talent. So your discipline and attention to detail give you the ability to block out the outside world and focus on the task at hand. You gain a 2+ modification to any task that takes at least a turn or a shift to complete. But if
I
you're
only had
interrupted,
that
you
last time.
automatically fail.
Yeah,
Would
that
that
one's a lot of
apply?
fun.
No,
Apply to
that
what?
definitely wouldn't apply to, like, I don't know, just having a quick conversation, that sort of thing. But would that apply to, like, I don't know, like giving a speech, that kind of thing?
Um, Actually, I would say probably so, depending on. I mean, if it's like most speeches tend to last more than like 2 minutes, so
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
basically not anything that's not immediately like combat, life-threatening things that are just a
Okay.
few seconds. But yeah,
yeah,
that's a
like
good idea for the speech. Yeah.
because like yeah, for speeches definitely. But I'm thinking also like for example, I'll say this much, like the inevitable political debate, like that would definitely apply because um the
Okay,
whole thing would
awesome.
definitely last longer than 10 minutes in universe.
So it's just a flat wits roll
I
then, right?
I can also recommend to
Yeah,
you the talent talk their language. That's very
yeah,
good for a
talk
manipulation
their language is
character.
good, as well as born leader. Well, born leader only if you have command, but um still
Mm. Oh, so that not only gets rid of the negative, it replaces it with a positive.
correct. That would be pretty good for giving a speech.
I think intense focus is probably just a little bit better because it has a wider range of utility, but that'll probably be what comes after.
Yeah, I mean nothing stops you from taking both.
That is true, except for, the amount of XP I have.
Well, right, but it's
You
five
get
per
there
session,
next
so you
time.
could get. I mean, as
Yeah,
early as
pretty
next
quickly.
session.
So flat flat wits
Lots
roll,
more.
right?
Yeah. Megas, are you going to be taking a talent and
Oh
or a
shit, can
skill?
I push that?
Yeah, so I'm taking manipulation to 3, and then
Okay.
I think I'm gonna roll for whatever the keep calm or nerves of steel.
All right. That's a good one. And answer your question, let's no, pushing for talents is impossible, which is why I advocate for story points.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
So
Hardened is interesting.
I don't remember. Do I just get fucked out of my
Okay,
XP?
I'll use a story point to get that.
No, Blitz, you basically like you still have a chance to re-roll for that talent, but the thing is that that XP is permanently locked into that talent, so it's not like, well, I failed at this, so I'm going to spend it on this instead. It's like, no, that XP is spent on that talent, you just don't have it until you succeed at the roll.
It's reserved until you get a success,
Basically,
basically.
yes. Like that pretty nicely sums it up.
Okay.
Maybe you want to make a note of that so you don't
Oh,
forget it
definitely.
somewhere. Yeah.
It's going in my appearance because that's
Yeah.
the easiest box.
Yeah. Um, Other than that, how was that session?
That's
That
pretty
was
good.
fun. Things are heating up.
Very much
It
so.
is. It seems like a prelude to grand chaos.
And it's early session too, and there's much more to come. So,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We haven't even gotten to really solving
like, you
the
haven't even gotten to
damn
the debate yet.
marauders.
Like, much less
Oh
fucking.
yeah, the debate.
Because keep in
We're
mind,
gonna
like, basically
yes
for
and the hell out of this.
what?
Said we're gonna yes and the hell out of this.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah, oh yeah.
Because it's like, the debate. Because keep in mind that it's, since it was announced that the debate is going to be in 3 days, it's only been almost one day in game.
Yeah,
Like, this session
because
took place over the course of like 3 shifts.
yeah,
Does someone
basically.
know Nerves of Steel?
Albert just took it, so yes.
I just learned.
Okay. Is Albert willing to teach my character, Simone, Nerves of Steel?
Yeah. Because I want you to be friendly to me, so I will do that.
At
The
least he's honest about
manipulation
it.
starts. Yeah, at least you're
Well,
honest.
in character, no. I mean, like out of character, obviously, like I want people to be friendly to me and giving me information and stuff. But like in character, like I'm asking you to like work for me, so I would help you
Okay.
Yeah.
In brackets, Simone will remember this.
in a positive way because I'm being nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one.
I mean, at this point, like the in character stuff, I would say Simone thinks like, oh, we get along, and we may not be. Yeah, she thinks that everyone, that she's met so far, besides El Presidente, who kind of puts her on edge. Like, she legitimately believes that, like, oh yeah, we're, you know, roommates, but also, hey, we're starting to become friendly.
And-
I will say she's not naive, but very trusting.
So you're basically not unlike Gorham in
Yes,
Great Escape.
basically, much more or less.
Okay. Um, good to hear that. So, okay, well, like I said, I mean, if there are any other questions, comments, concerns, definitely let me know. Our next session is going to be on the what is it, the 13th of April. So,
Okay.
to see you guys then.